Hello everybody, welcome back. We are back on the Tarkov today. Hopefully the game is actually, gonna actually work today. Although we did have a really lovely session last time. We sat and we chilled and, everybody was here and it was all fantastic. We had a good time. But hello everyone. Mateus, Nick, you rotating in a COFDM in my mind. Hello Easy. Thank you for the 17 months, dude. That's a long time, the tier 1. Thank you, man. Outlaw. Giga and all you Giga Scars, absolutely. Yo from Iran. Hey, Sefer. Spin Man. Good to join the stream after coming back home from a passport application appointment. Hopefully going to go to UK. That'd be sick. Ereniko, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I remember my wife went to the passport office and she accidentally she'd brought a packed lunch in at the time. And she went through the scanner and basically she had a knife in her bag. And they were like, Mom, you might... Could you step over to the security office? It was literally one out of the, it wasn't a sharp one. It's like one out of the kitchen, right? It's like just like a metal knife and fork. She just forgotten that she'd had this packed lunch in her bag. She caused a real stir. That was funny. I remember her telling me. Oh, it was entertaining. It was entertaining. She's good at doing that kind of thing. She really is. Beta, good luck. JB, afternoon. Nathan, hi, how's it going? Right, so let's get into it. We have got the money cranking up. I'm actually quite surprised. So when we recently bought the thick case not that long ago, I was like, oh, we're spending a decent portion of our money. But now what we've been doing is just crafting these whenever I can, because it seems that this is better than buying this. Like these are almost always above. That's actually really cheap. So I'm gonna buy. Well, I'll buy both if I can. These are pretty much always 280. And if you use the super waters, I mean, I'm crafting them anyway, but they're quite slow. So if you buy one of these, they're like 154 is maybe a little toppy. But then these guys, the sugars always come in seemingly about 50k. So it is actually slightly cheaper to just do it using the craft instead. And we're going to eat the sugar along the way to kind of save. We basically get free food. We don't have to buy. I used to buy mayo because it's really efficient, but don't have to buy any mayo anymore. So that's kind of cool. Cycling these crafts just to try and get crafting XP, but I sort of borderline don't really care. We've been trying out the 2.5k one. It does seem pretty good. It's very consistent. That makes you money just because you hardly spend anything, to be honest with you. And then in here, we're still just cycling the M67 grenades to make these.
Happy anniversary, Ducky.
Yo! Paying for the 11 months. Thank you, man. Thank you, buddy. Welcome. Don, do you stream daily now? No, I do not. I stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And then Scav Talk on Friday. So no, it's like 4 days that I'm, on in some capacity. That's not too bad. And then videos Wednesday and Saturday. So really, the only days that are kind of empty now is probably Sunday. Kind of the only day that's empty. I don't have anything going out or anything like that. I mean, I schedule everything anyway, so it doesn't really matter which days I pick for YouTube. But I've done Wednesday and Saturday forever, so until I have good reason to change, I'm just gonna keep doing that until further notice, I suppose. Don plus, yes. Hello, Robert. Yes, things are good, dude. Things are good. We're just doing a bit of crafts, figuring stuff out. Yeah, the money just keeps going up, which is pretty nice. We're slowly going to work towards, and I didn't really think about this before. I don't know why, but I normally just get to a certain point of money and then just buy all the things that I need to get to the thick cases. But I figured this time, you know what? We can just sort of work towards it like people normally do, especially given that I'm not using the moonshines. I think it's because normally I'm cranking the moonshines out into my scav case to get stuff like tank batteries and whatnot. And maybe I should have carried on doing it. I don't know. But you'd think after a while you start to lose a bunch of money on it because the items aren't as valuable. When the item prices start going down through the wipe, it means that it ends up not being as... It means it's not as valuable as it once was, right? Because people don't need those quest items anymore, etc., etc. And then you think, well, do I really want to keep going with the scav case if it's going to just be a few items here and there that maybe I need, but other than that, maybe I can just find them and it's going to be better. I don't know. And would I rather have more space and have a clear stash because I've now got the two thicks? So I'm thinking maybe we just go for another one of these because it's kind of fun and we can just slowly work towards it. We've got a bunch of moonshines already. And as far as therapist goes, we've got 30 of these to go, and then the whiskeys and the vodkas are not hard to do. I always look out for whiskeys because I use them for the barters. Over 30k, I don't normally buy them. I tend to try to buy them at 20k if I can, but they don't always sit around there for long enough. Because I use them for this barter, so I always end up kind of utilizing the ones that I've already got in my stash. So the vodkas never last that long with me. I end up turning them into Ash 12s so often. And then this other barter is actually also good to do these days. Yeah, it's quite surprising. Quite surprising. Theory, just came home from work, made my lunch, some Giga stream. Well, welcome. We'll crack that one out. All good. Hey, Pika. Wish BSG would adjust PvP, make it more accessible, more potent. I think they should make it maybe a little bit more accessible. It should give you more bullets. I mean, we're still rocking this. We didn't get to actually use this the other day because we never really got into game. We used it against some scavs, and that was about it. So that's the thing, right? That's the thing. Should I use BCP FMJ? I'm level 19 instead of 556. Really depends, right? I would say yes. I don't really like the 556 caliber bullets below M856A1 just because they're so much lower in terms of penetration and stuff. Depends if you want to fight close range though. Like obviously if you want to fight close up, the I did min-max this mag. Look at that, the full rainbow. If you want to fight close up, then it's a bit tricky if you're using the bigger guns. If you're using like an RFB or something, it can be kind of tough. Is the issue. Okay, so I think we're just gonna leap straight in. I've got like some random keys. I've got both streets and lighthouse keys in here because I was thinking maybe we do a little bit of streets at some point. I kind of want to get back into streets, but I don't know. We know where to find these COFDM things on Lighthouse. We're probably going to run into boys who are actually kitted, and then the MP5SD is going to be a terrible idea, but it's a light kit, and we're just going to give it a go. I want to use the gun a little bit more and figure it out, so we'll see. It's sad about Arsenal and the Premier League title. I'm not a football guy. I'm not a football guy. The only football that's sort of like even like remote, like semi-interesting is the whole Wrexham thing, because one of my uncles is like a die-hard Wrexham fan. And so for him, he's been a fan for like since he was a teenager. And so, he's been like 35 years supporting the club or something, maybe even more than that now. And that like turnaround story is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. All 9mm except maybe Quake and MP9N is kind of underwhelming. Yeah, they are underwhelming, that's the thing. And that's why I think that the 15% recoil reduction actually helps 9mm, because 9mm, with the exception of the PP19, they're all quite high RPM, and so the recoil reduction actually helps 9mm weapons quite a lot, amazingly. I should actually write this down, MP5SD, because I want to do a bit about the MP5SD. I want to do a bit about it, so I'm gonna write that one down. There's a couple of guns that I want to look at. I want to look at the MP5SD. I want to look at the SVD again, and then maybe we'll move on to some others. But I'm just kind of like setting out my like next set of things to check out since everything was updated and things were changed. I do want to look at the MCX as well at some stage. Like, yeah, the ammo is really, really hard to get access to, but it should technically be very, very good. Would be nice if they made it a bit more viable. Yeah, I still think that 9mm, maybe the MP5SD is okay, but I think 9mm in general should just take, like, my personal opinion on it, and it really isn't, like, there's no right way or wrong way to do this, really. But I feel that, like, making 9mm feel like the rest of the guns would be a mistake, because then it just, you have the appearance of choice, but then all the weapons are really the same. I'd rather 9mm be underpowered, but have like quite a bit less recoil than the other weapons. I think that would be interesting, because then it's like, okay, well, if you can target like the face and jaws hitbox when most people aren't wearing face shields, then maybe it's worth using 9mm, right? Like if you can hit the headshot with it, then great, because the recoil is so much lower than the other guns. I feel like that makes for an interesting choice, as opposed to just like, oh, increase the pen or make the availability more, blah blah blah, to make it like all the other guns. Because we already have like a billion guns that do similar things, Most ridiculous looking rifle at MPX builds. Yeah, that gun just doesn't really work now. Is that the club Ryan Reynolds owns part of? It is. Yes, it is. Where did you get the Vertexes and how many raids? It didn't take that long, actually. Probably maybe like 10. We found one in the Merin car boot and one on a guy in his Blackrock fighting around the villas. Bizarrely. Where did your name come from? Oh, it was a stupid in-joke at school about beef. We was like, everything was like, where's the beef and this beef and that beef. And there was a guy called Gigabyte in like some random RTS game I used to play. And I just merged the two names together and created a new handle. And it was because my old name, which was just a Time Splitters 2 character, got taken. So I had to create something new. And Gigabeef it was. Turning vodkas into Ash 12. Exactly. Exactly. I love It's Always Sunny. I've never actually seen It's Always Sunny. Loads of people tell me it's great. I've never seen it. Would you consider making a video on how to hunt the various bosses? Maybe. I normally don't get enough time. I'd like to start with Tagilla, though, if I was going to do that. It's just, it takes quite a long time to actually get enough practice because you don't see them that much. Like, they've just increased the boss spawn rate, actually. So maybe. But, using the M6 for a bit, I think it's good. Didn't even notice? Yeah, no, exactly. It was nuts, right? Do you ever have Scav Talk community nights? No, we just do the Scav Talk podcast itself. We don't really do too much else with it right now. Probably just a time thing. It's just like, it's just hard. Interesting? Yeah, random. Oh, we're actually over by the road camp. I don't really want to go to the road camp. It's just not really part of my game plan. For this particular stream, I just don't really want to do it. And everyone's like, oh, go there. But I get like, I don't know. I don't like the road camp very much. I don't like fighting the rogues. I don't like fighting the 1,000 million player scavs in there. I'd need to spend a lot more time actually looking at the rogues. What? I was in disbelief that was actually a person. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand, but it's I guess we'll take it. Oh, it's one of these. Oh, I haven't seen one of these for a while. Which I guess we don't need to unload the whole thing. Could just keep it like that. Okay. We're actually further up than I thought. Okay. We need to actually reload this a little bit. Seeing you load is a sight to behold. Yeah, that's good. Now we had a fun time, didn't we? We had a fun time. Laser flashlight still bugged? Apparently so, yeah. I think it still is. Yes, I did shoot at 8 and killed Sturman. Hey, nice one. Love spawn points. Battle bosses got attacked goons as a 7+ scav. I think, do the goons kill, do they fight everybody? I'm not actually sure. I guess so. I guess so, yeah, because rogues will kill you as well, but you also don't lose scav rep for killing those guys too. Indeed, indeed. Indeed. One is further up the hill. Yeah, I mean, that seems like really bizarre. That seems really, really bizarre. Yeah. BPA for the mid-range 2-tapper, exactly. Because now we got this, you see. Got both these guns. And kind of nice. The goons. Hence the name of the goons. Is the man still going to the lighthouse? We need to play more lighthouse anyway. I'd want to get better at lighthouse PvP. I'm like sniping a guy from 10 seconds. Yeah. See, so I want to check like all the spots for, you know, all the things. I'm gonna do the villagey bit. +3 and they smoke me on customs. The other bosses will leave you alone if you're at 6. I think even together. But they are nuts. The goons are crazy. Oh my god. They are crazy. He's not fight me, never seen them. Seen their dead bodies. I've seen their dead bodies a couple of times. I stole one of the what's he called? Big pipes like plate from someone like really early on. This wipe. I've still got it actually. It's where I keep all my labs cards. Funny enough. Hello, Ubfugs. How you doing, dude? Oh no. They don't stop shooting till they lose line of sight. And even then sometimes they don't seem to. Need to learn mountain PvP. Exactly. Exactly. Not someone up there, is there? No? Okay. Mountain PvP. I quite like the sound of that. Rock Ollie, thank you for the prime. Thank you for the prime, dude. On YouTube for a while. Could have swore I followed on Twitch. No problem. All good. All good. It's hard to keep track of all these platforms and all these people, eh? Yeah, we're having a good day. Having a good day so far because we're actually able to load into the game. Although we did have a fun just chatting stream last time. Have you seen the stealth mechanic? If you stay in one place too long, you get the exhaustion debuff. I've not actually seen this. I've never seen it in my own games. Trying to learn PvP while doing assessment. Yeah. Not a bad idea. I think that was the sound of my own... I think that was the coat closing off. Give a bunch of random stuff. What else we got? Anything on the bed under? Anything there? Anything under there? Oh, what's that? A silver badge. Can I get in the sick case? No. Is it worth more than the CMS? I can't remember. Probably worth more than the splint though. Okay. We'll go into the other room. This little room in here. Have a look on there. Look on here. Look up there. Look down here. Look in the sink. Oh! No stim. Like, basically every single time I've come into Hillside House, there's been a stim in the sink. Nuts. Okay, there's nothing in this one. Nothing in this one. Now, I have it on good authority that this building is good for these things. Let's go and see. Wait, is this the right one? This doesn't feel like the right building. Is it the one further down or is it this one? Hold on. Which one is it? It ain't this one. This isn't the right one, I don't think. Or is it? No, this isn't the right one. Eh? Is it the... Oh, it's the next one. It's the next one. It's this one. Yeah. It's this one. Got it. Got it. Right. Seems like servers are behaving. Yeah, for them, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Random amount and duration. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know. Something feels kind of laggy on my end. I don't know. I feel like my FPS is about... Feels like my FPS is like 55 or something. I don't know. 78. Okay, no, it should feel okay. I don't know what the deal is. It just feels a bit weird. I don't know. Don't know. Not sure. Not sure. Let's pop upstairs. My friend. What did die out of nowhere? VP of meta. 28 max duo M2 rig. Oh yeah, that's true. Hello, Twicky. Large kangaroo population in the UK, really? What tiers are you using? I'm using a class 6. It's a min-max type. Oh! It's a COFDM radio! Oh my god, we found one in here. Look at that, my guys. Look at that. It works! It works! The loot run, it works! We didn't need to use any keys or anything. Okay. Now we're gonna scamper out. We're going to scamper out. One kind of big benefit of this area... Oh, probably too... Am I too heavy to get over this? I think I just need to time it better. There we go. Big benefit of this area is that you can just literally skedaddle out of here, which is neat. Is a 4090 overkill for mostly Tarkov? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Oh, gosh. Vaulting can't come soon enough. I'm so fed up with the lack of vaulting. Ah! Just about. Just about. Up we come. Up we come. Yeah, so you need a good CPU for Tarkov, basically. I have a 5800 X3D and it performs like a dream. And I stream and record simultaneously. I'm doing a lot of stuff on my PC. It's not just Tarkov, so mine's more intensive than the regular person's one. Hey, how are things? Finally got both of my Vertex and one of my quests to unlock like you. Nice, dude. Nice swap. Any reason you're playing Lighthouse to the Streets for the COFDMs? 100% with Jesse to spam the streets for it. I can't figure out... I don't really understand where on streets to go. That's the thing. Are you simultaneously streaming? I am. I am. Maybe your frame rates are varying. That feels like low FPS. Yeah, I don't really know. I'm not sure. Not sure. Still using the VPN? I thought we'll just take it. Why not? Might be cool. Best game setting is to turn everything off. Most settings don't work, just low FPS. I don't know. Some of them, when you decrease them, though, they put more load on the CPU. So it's kind of counterintuitive sometimes. Headshots required with the MP5, you see. Headshots required. Let's go. Exactly. How many more? Is that the first? It is the first one. We need 4 more. We need so many more. How many GPSA and MCC do you need in total for Lightkeeper? I don't think... Do you need any? I'm not sure if you need any. I don't know if you need any. Nerf jumping. I'm tired of people that jump peeking into all while having 50k of gear. It is a bit of an awkward mechanic, isn't it? Speaking of mechanic, in it goes. Oh no, we need 4, not 5. I thought we needed 5. Good. That's one less. There we go. How long do you think it's a wipe? I personally think it'll be the end of June. I know there's lots of people talking about the end of May, but I'm kind of, you know, I'm talking with vested interests here because I'm actually going to be away at the beginning of June, so it better not be the beginning of June or the end of May. So the end of May would be slightly better. I could probably do the beginning of the wipe and then take off, like I'm going to. But I've got something booked at the beginning of June, so I really don't. I don't want it to be then. I'd really rather it not. That would be unfortunate if it was. Yeah, it's not like Ragman wouldn't even take that. It's so scuffed. Fifth one for another quest in the unlock chain. I see. That's disappointing. Which one is it? What quest is it? What quest is the other one? And how far along is it? Do we need to worry about it now? Can I just wait later? I don't want to get 5 if I can help it. I want to do as little as possible at this period. So we're gonna go 2 more of those, and then we'll drain 10 of them. Great. This is kind of my sugar plan, you see. Oh, so that we'll just try and get them, snag them under 50, under 50k, and then it all should be good. All should be good. APMs are decent. I'm actually maybe it's worth a shot at another APM. APM Go. I don't know. 2022. I mean, that'll do. That's fine. This has got 6.3 in it though, so we'll keep that down here. The PvP. Top that guy up. Take out the badge. Cool. Cool. Okay. Fine. I guess there's nothing to it but to just go again, I suppose. Oh yes, take this out. Cool. Oh no, I know. That tax sports. Get rid of those. Get rid of those. I don't like those. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of them. Let's go with some razors and then we can stick this in there. Right. PMC Lighthouse. 6 a.m. Yeah, 6 a.m. We're kind of looting, aren't we? So depends on when we start. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, well, I think wipe will be end of June, personally. 3rd from Final Quest. Oh, that's miles away then. We don't need to worry about that. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. Not a fan of attack sport? No, I'm not sure you can watch your channel anymore. Oh, no. No, I don't like them. They're too bassy for me in my headset. They're too bassy. Grisetchu, hey, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We're actually able to play today. Let's click the button for the Twitchers. Few vids on the Tarkov settings, pressly done one. Increased my FPS, made it smooth and no lag. Yeah, the problem with FPS videos, it's just hard, right? Because everyone's system's different, and it really depends on your machine and like the performance that you have. Like there's so many like factors to it. That's kind of the issue that I have. There's so many factors to it. It makes it really tough. Like for me, I've got a very, very specific setup because I have a single PC stream at the same time that I've now like increased the intensity by loads because I'm doing like 2 streams at once. So it's kind of tough. There's like lots of different people have settings vids, and I've tried some from some people's and some from others, but sometimes you just need to tweak stuff, and it's just like, yeah, it's complicated. It's complicated. Hard bass. Right in your ears. Morning, Zakir. Extract on streets weekly for yellow card. Hey, nice. Hope the servers are full of COFDMs. Yeah, me too. And we found one on the very first raid, so... Your real name on YouTube? Yeah, YouTube kind of does that if you have your channel, if you're logged in as yourself. I think you can just change it. You can just change it, I think. So Reserve doing 160 FPS on a 4090 and 3900K. That's cool. Old internet method pointing a camera at your monitor? That'll do. That'll do. Level 38. Got my Bitcoin generator build. Is it worth? Yes, water collector is definitely worthwhile. It's probably one of the most... I try to rush the water collector. It's one of the most valuable hideout modules, one of the most profitable hideout modules. Like the Moonshine Station, the booze generator, whatever, you can take or leave that, but you can sell the water for like 150k, 160k, and the filters are like 140 if you just buy them, you know, 100% one straight off the flea. But you got to remember that a water filter lasts much more than one canister. It's like a canister and a half, or like a canister and like 2/3. It kind of depends on your hideout skills as well, but it's really good value. You make loads of money doing it. Really loads of money. Like the water filter is so good. I think it's my favorite station for money in some ways, just because it's so easy as well. You just buy the thing, put it in, and it always makes money, just non-stop. Twitch with the ads? Yeah, Twitch is annoying with the ads. I try to minimize it. I've got the minimum amount on to not have like the pre-roll ad. So I have the minimum that I can. Trying to find the far forwards, been searching, hoping your vid helps. Yeah, watch it. I mean, I struggled. It took me for like 50 raids to do it. I got really unlucky. How much more? I need 4. Sorry, no, I need 3 more. Like right now, anyway. Listening to the video and you decided it was beatbox. Got to support. You see ads? Maybe it's because of where I live. Yeah, it'll just depend on it. Big fan Giga from like a year ago. Pesty mentioned you in a video and stayed since then. Oh, he did actually, yeah. He actually reached out to me on Twitter and in a DM and just said like, hey man, I saw your video about the change, like it was like an ammo pen one or changes to ammo pens or something. And he was like, oh, I just thought it was explained really well. Like I'd like to reference you in a video. I was just like, hell yeah, dude, go for it. Go for it. So yeah, I'm still appreciative of him for that. Also runs when the power is out. Does it? Maybe it does. I can't remember. As with no interaction on social media, but still follow and appreciate the work. Hey. 20 raids in, still haven't found either MCC or GPSA. It's quite hard. MCC I find a bit easier because it's so big. It's kind of obvious in raid, whereas the the GPSA is just like it's tiny. I find it really hard to spot. Thanks, Gongo. No COFDM this raid. Why? Because I willed it so. We'll see. Maybe I'll just die. Yeah, it is poggers, yeah. Get the same 2 ads here. I'd rather get the normal amount. The ads don't really do much for me on Twitch, though. Like, I'd rather have them off completely if I could. They don't really do anything. I guess it's a bit. A lot of work info-wise. Yeah, it's just nice to get that recognition too. Like, I didn't even think he knew who I am, so. She created the streams binge when I first started playing. Nice one. Nice one. As is many for Twitch to get. Yeah, it's for Twitch to become profitable. They're not going to become profitable on subs alone, unfortunately, even though they take 50%. They need to make money because the revenue on ads scales. Like if anyone's a Devin Nash fan, he like talks about the industry of like content creation and stuff. He's good. He's very good if you're interested in that kind of thing. And yeah, he basically says like, yeah, ads are the only way Twitch scales and actually makes money for Amazon. Oh, we're down in the little gully down here, so we kind of want to just like rush over. I don't know if is this stupid just like running right across. I feel like maybe. Are we going to do it anyway? Yeah, probably. Oh no, there's a bush there. I didn't see it. What I need to do though is I kind of need to get up to like that. Oh, ouch. I kind of need to get up to the this here ASAP because people are going to be looking down from here and shooting down. Is there a video where he mentions you? I can't remember which one it is. I'm afraid from his channel. I can't remember. Oh no, come on, let me jump, please. Oh, the vaulting rework really can't come soon enough. It's actually worse on Lighthouse than any other map, in my opinion. Because of all these rocks and stuff, it's just like atrocious. I'm getting really tilted about the lack of vaulting now that I know it's coming. If I'm best off going this way. Is YouTube, Twitch your main job? Yes! It is. For about a year now. I was working on the channel for 2 years and then we took the plunge. In there. Random stuff. We're just going to wander. We're just going to walk for now. Wonder how much AB1 code it's going to ease up on Twitch's bandwidth. I don't think it's going to do anything for Twitch's bandwidth, personally. I think it's just going to mean people will then be able to stream in a higher quality, and that's about it. People are going to keep the same... If they give the same bitrate limit, people are just going to use that same bitrate. You know what I mean? But it's just to try and compete with the quality on YouTube and some of the other platforms. Okay. Have a look around in this area. Let's have a look. I think the A1 scan is worth it on any circumstance. Personally, no. I just can't see how it could be. The barter's too much. I can't even remember what the barter is. But I remember looking at it previously and thinking, nah. Adds power all free services? They do indeed. They do indeed. Is it safest to run across because of assessment 1? Probably. Assessment people can do it like... They can do it wherever now. Assessment was updated, so now it's anywhere south of the road camp, pretty much. Will agree the rock texture horrible. I do have my textures quite low as well, because Lighthouse breaks the game otherwise for me, annoyingly. I get these annoying spikes of GPU usage and it kicks the stream out, so I turned down all my textures to fix that. But have you betrayed the car kit? I took this off someone. I took this off somebody. It's not mine. I didn't buy it. I promise. I promise. Here's 2 flashbacks. Made streamers drops harder? Yeah, they have in some ways. Nice, congrats. Thanks, dude. And PUBG had no vaulting. I know, it was so good. It was so good. I'm a vaulting hater. Do the organ jumps too much? Love the jank. Love the jank. Got pick up on that. I think it was just... I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it was just this. Maybe. Oops. Can there be something on there? Oh, it was PST. Maybe it was just PST. Not sure. Mace, there's no one here, right? I'm surprised there's not been anyone here yet. Hardware decode's okay if you've got NVIDIA though, right? One more Vertex, one more Tarkov Shooter 7. Worth trying to combine them? I mean, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, personally. As you say, it would be really bad to be undergeared and die. I wouldn't bother. Use other programs in the background? No, I don't. No. None of them do anything for me, really. HK417, no, I don't want that barrel. None of these things are really any good. I reckon that's just going to be a scav. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I think it's just a scav. I feel like only a scav would saunter around like that. Nope, it was a person. It was a real person. I didn't see him in the corner. Garwood. That wasn't even the MP5's fault. I just didn't even hit the guy. It was so dark in there. I was like, gosh. Actually, I wonder if... Let me just check something, actually. Hope I haven't broken everything. Where's it gone? Here it... Oh no, it's stuck behind Tarkov. Okay, Tarkov's like basically frozen. Oh no, here we go. Image settings. Where is it? Color. Oh no, it's okay. It's set up right. Okay, no, it's fine. Like normally you can see a bit more easily in there. Oh, I did hit him once. Apparently, I was surprised I even hit him. It's a 5.6A1 man. 2 shots to the stomach. That'll hurt you a lot. Collat. How many shots do we actually take? This is always interesting watching these, especially if you don't take any shots to the chest or the head, and how many you actually got killed. Oh, you got killed? And help with Unity crashes? I don't normally get a Unity crash. It just like freezes for a bit. You sound outside? He did sound outside, yeah. Use delete button. I use a button on my mouse to move stuff off. MP7 or MDR556? I would say it depends on if you want to go... the MDR is more generic. If you think you're going to be hitting people at 80 meters, run the MDR. If you're going to be going close range, like Resort or something, just go for the MP7. It's literally a short versus long range thing. Hello, Goofy. How's it going? Right, so yeah, so we got hit once in the leg. Second time in the leg. Once in the arm. And twice in the stomach. And that killed us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bullets. It's a lot, right? That's a lot of damage. How much does 5.6A1 do? We're talking fragments here. That's the reason. It does 54 damage. So technically, if you didn't have any fragments, then it'd be 270. You see, so you can. It really does crank out. Actually, that's not strictly true though, because we've got like the 2 shots to the stomach as well, and that's going to multiply up, so that makes it a bit more. But that does seem like that seems a lot, right? Thing is, I think fragments now are like 1.8 or something crazy. It's like 97.2. So if you 186 plus a bit of yeah, I don't know. Like that's pretty close actually. I don't know. 5 shots from it's a lot. It's plausible. It's plausible based on the weirdness of the fragmentation thing now, but it does seem a lot. We did die very, very quickly and the fact that we didn't take any shots on chest and head, it's really weird. Do frags work on non-limbs PMCs? Frags always worked on limbs only and the stomach. They just don't work on thorax and head. Is the thing. Do you use specific settings on a video just for Tarkov? No, but I changed my gamma. Like I've got my gamma up more than, I don't have it at the base amount. Do I have another MP5? I'm not sure if I do. Well, we'll buy another one. We didn't get that one as a proper run out. Now I just wanted to make sure that the gamma was set right. Oh, it's not. Sorry, it's not a. It's a real cash purchase. It's not barter. They're really cheap. 469 for what you get on this. I think it's actually pretty good. But it's because nobody likes them anymore. No one likes the 9mm. No one likes 9mm. Yeah, I had my gamma up like 30% or something just because you just can't see otherwise. Like once I did that, it changed my game completely, especially in certain areas like Interchange and the Underground on Reserve and places like that. Just really hard without it. Really hard without it. You just can't see. You literally just can't see. Especially I couldn't see on my monitor. It's not possible. Right, so we've got the PST. So we're going to do this like rainbow. I'm going to go 10 and 10 and 10. 10 and 10. Oh, actually, we need to go 20 in this one. So we've got 20 in that. 20 in that. 10 of these. That in there, this in there. And this guy, we're going to go 10 and 10 of those, and then 10 and 10. I do love a good rainbow mag. The old ye olde min-max. Right, what have we got like lying around? Got anything that we want to use? Oh, you could use another one of these. This is good. I like these. I do like these. I'm half tempted to take this helmet and just give it a try. It wouldn't have helped in the last situation, but it's obviously getting player scabbed. I mean, you can't wear a headset though. Let's avoid it just for now. Let's avoid it just for now. Just wear some like random stuff. Doop, and doop, and doop. Okay, and that can go in here, and that can go in there, and then we want to take. We probably will take a Pro-P. They're just so good. They're very, very hard to say no to. One nade, because we've got loads, and then a bag of some description. Let's just pick anything. 5800 XUD, how much extra FPS do you get on streets? I normally get about 70, 80, 90, kind of depending on what's happening and like where I go. On streets, usually. And that's with my 3070. Oh yeah, we got one of these, didn't we? We got, was it a Trimadol? Yeah, it was a Trimadol. Okay, so let's heal up. Heal up. Yeah, I really thought that last dude was outside, as we said. I really didn't think he was inside. Didn't sound like it, as far as I could tell. I wonder if it's worth. Taking a paracord. Nah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Have I got Merin Key on me? Yeah, I do. Cool, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. In Philly MP5 SD, I just want to test it out. I want to get a few opportunities to kill people with it and figure out how it feels. Because I think with the recoil changes, before it was a little bit too bouncy for the ammo performance, I suppose, is what you would call it. But now, with the recoil change, I think it might actually be okay. Because it benefits more than some other guns because it's 800 RPM. It's kind of the same as the M4, but in the 9mm grouping. So I don't know. I don't know. You can craft PvP? You can. I'm not sure about PvP though. It looked really weird in our last set of testing when I was shooting against class 4, but I don't know. I think maybe something odd was going on in offline, or we just got really unlucky, or whatever. I haven't tested it since. I'm using it on the basis that it was something weird and that there's nothing wrong with it, but it's hard to tell. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Hard to tell. I think they'll improve streets. Yes, the next patch that they do streets in, well, performance update on is going to be a lot. Good tactics on how to kill the rogues. I don't have a great tactic really, except you have to just like wander around the lighthouse each bit by. I think you're probably better off going in these days rather than trying to snipe from afar because there's claymores up on the rocks, which makes it really tough. There was a very bad scav actually did a interesting video about looting on Lighthouse, but one of them's in the rogue camp and it was a relatively safe route to go through and pick the rogues off. I'm not an expert at killing rogues. Did you build your PC from scratch? I actually bought this one in one piece because when I was buying this, we were in the middle of the graphics card crisis scarcity thing, so I literally couldn't buy a 30 series card, and I really wanted to upgrade everything on the stream. I needed to have the NVENC encoder. I had an old AMD GPU before, which everything was going through the CPU. So to upgrade everything, I needed a new card, and all the cards were just like monster pricey at the time. And the only way you could get one for a reasonable price was with a pre-build. So I just did that. But every other time, I've always built my own machines. It was quite nice. I don't really enjoy doing it. Actually, I'm not a big PC builder, and I don't really enjoy making the machine. I can do it, and I have done every time in the past, except for this one. So it was quite a relief not to have to. I was forced not to in some ways. I just don't like it. It's one of those things, you build the whole thing, you plug it in, you press the on button, it never works, and you have to take it all apart and troubleshoot it. I hate it. I find it really boring. And you're like worrying about it breaking as well. You touch one bit and then it doesn't, and you don't know which bits. And the more you fuss with it, the more likely you are to like static shock a piece or something. It's just, I just find it stressful. So I actually didn't mind not having to build it myself, to be honest with you. Do you have max hideout from the labs items? I do now, yes. What do you think about BSG's map design? I think it's great. I think BSG's map design is some of the best in the business. Got traders max, but I don't do Lightkeeper quest. I mean, basically just go and learn areas of the map or things that you're not very good at, or things that you think you're not very good at. So go and learn streets before they do the expansion, or work on resort PvP, or whatever. Like, you want to be practicing. The end of the wipe, really, the last 2 months, is you practicing your own skills. That's the deal. Missed Cav case? Oh, whatever. It's fine. Oh, sorry, I should have put chat on screen. Sorry, guys. Love the pod. Dead Zones in the last few episodes. Oh. That ain't good, is it? Where are we? Oh, we're right here. Oh, gosh, we're here. Okay. Actually, you know what? Maybe we'll go up this way again. Because we're at the bottom villa, which is not as good for these COFDMs, so it seems. So maybe we'll go down and do Hillside House again. And the van and stuff like that. Maybe come back up later. Which, I don't know. If we go early enough, maybe we can get in on the PvP. Not sure which is the best way, really. Yo, Chazzies, thank you so much for the tier 1, dude. Oh, no. Oh, it's so bad. Can you not jump up that bit? Oh, you can. You can, it's just very buggy. Okay. Yeah, you can, it's just very buggy. Yeah, so that way or this way? That way or this way? I feel like this way... We are more likely to end up in fights, but... If you'd be so kind, Ghost, if you'd be so kind to, like, DM Church about it on Discord, he might be able to fix it. I don't know whether it's something his end or not. That'd be really useful if you can. If not, no worries. Building PC is expensive, Lego. Yeah. Oh dear, we hit the... Oh my god. Honestly, navigating lighthouse? Oh, for God's sake, okay, we'll give up on that. I want to stand on that rock so I can peer over that. Not happening today, apparently. Love PT maintenance, yeah. Hard to randomly fire your system, but you just never know. And when it doesn't turn on, you just don't know. Until you actually get it to work and it suddenly starts functioning, you just can't know. I'm going to pre-paint, actually. I need to pre-paint more often. Can I walk up these rocks? Okay, so let's have a look down here then. Down here, on the floor here. Nice advice. That's how in the middle of you talking doesn't come out for 2 minutes. It's super weird. Yeah, Church is the one who actually uploads all this stuff. He's like, it'll be easy for him to fix it because he sends it to the uploading system in the first place. Oh, there's the nippers embedded in the floor. Lovely. Okay, so nothing over there, apparently. Hello, I'm good. I'm good, Goat. Yes, we're looking for CFDMs. Indeed, indeed. There can be stuff on there. Have a look around. In some ways, it's sort of surprising the lack of people. Like, normally this is absolutely busting with people. But you're really obvious when you're inside, which is kind of... Oh, it's a 4-inch rail. Nothing of any real value. That was where the guy was last time. Hidden in that little corner. Looked at all the tests for network provider. Yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. That was what I did. I was like, okay, well, we're not going to do Kappa, but let's just go and do all the tasks for network provider. Let's try and do that. At least it's something different, right? Never done that before, so... Oh god, that jacket scared the absolute hell out of me. Network provider, yeah, it's the first one for Lightkeeper. Can't wait for presets. Easy time playing streets. Thing is though, like, I don't know where to go on streets though. That's the bigger question. It's like everybody's saying like, I don't know, everyone says the map that I'm not on. Every time, but what's that? Euros. But yeah, I don't know, on streets, like, you know, where exactly do you want to be? And people say check 15, but that's like extremely expensive. But it's like, where do you find them outside of that? Like, streets is complicated with its loot. There's like so many places to go, and I'm not sure which is best for precisely the COFDMs. You know what I mean? I want to make sure I'm maximizing my chance of getting this specific thing. I just like YouTube. I think it's interesting. Oops. Interesting. There's I don't know. There's a lot of people that don't use Twitch, so it's interesting being able to see, you know, the people who ordinarily watch my stuff being able to see it a bit more easily, which is cool. Still avoiding water treatment? Yeah, I am at the moment. As many spots as there might be, it's going to take me... you can't just wander around like this. You know what I mean? This is what puts me off about water treatment. You can't just wander around like this looting. And in here, at least, you're fighting other players. So maybe it's not quite as unfair sometimes. Oh, come off it. Big thanks for recommending Resolve. Hey, nice. Trial and error is Resolve. Yeah, that's what you need to do. You just need to try stuff, right? What a lot of editing's about. Rest of the cheeky breaky. Anything in here? No. Anything on there? No. Seems a bit... I don't know. There's not that many spots. Things. Confirmation bias, but how come streamers never get sniped from the usual locations? Don't know. Probably, yeah, it's probably just because you see, like, regular raids or whatever. They will do sometimes, but probably just not as common as it may seem when you do get shot from one of those spots, you know. Yeah, well, I don't actually know which spot down here was supposed to be the one for these tech items. I don't actually know where it is in this pool. There's these broken boxes, but iron gate key. I actually have iron gate key. I have it. I mean, we could even alternate between the two. Oh, no. Oh. Sounded like another one to my left as well. I think they were just like creeping up, just hearing me wander around. Post office building, dentist, post office check, Sparger, Concordia second 64. It's quite a big, that's quite a big loot though. Loot run, I guess. Yeah, water treatment is good for scavving, not so much for PMC. I didn't find any in labs. I played so much labs, I didn't find any there. Yeah, I hate water treatment too. That was kind of an awkward shot. Oh. Okay, yeah, we just took all the thorax. Sag. It took 4 shots though. Like the 4th hit killed us, but it goes to show how good it is, right? Take 4 shots from the TTSK. I couldn't see him. Like he shot at me and I couldn't see him the first time. COFDM. It's no, COFDM is like a radio. Can't serve my country if they want to support you. No problem. That's all right. Think the VSS is worth buying? Don't know. It's very good. It's very, very good. So, I don't know. It's a bit like firing BP out of the 762 BP out of a P90. It's kind of nuts. It's a close range. If you're going to hit your shots and you're in a fair fight with somebody who is about as skilled as you, if you're just in a slugging match, you're going to win with the VSS. That's really how the situation is and why it's so valuable. Because with the new recoil, you will just destroy them. In short. Get rid of that. Show what AZSing at the ground? Nah, that's just desync. That's just desync. What shows on my screen isn't necessarily what shows on his screen. Desynchronization. Does Merrin still have good loot? We found one of the vertexes in it last time when we were looking for that kind of stuff. So you can get stuff in there. It's honestly not terrible. Lots of people said it's really, really bad. I found it's okay. It's okay. It's not awful, but the key is really cheap now. So it could be worse. Certainly could be worse. Have a look through some of these items. 14, 70, 35. Now I'm going to try and buy one of these. Buy that one. And then the Slim Diaries, these worth it. 28k. What's that, man? 28. It's like 35,000 divided by... Get yourself for like 280, 125. Yeah, I guess it's just about worth it, I suppose. Buy one of them or something. Need to keep my dollars topped up somehow. You know, that's the problem. Gotta keep the dollars topped up. We're not even getting to actually shoot anybody. We're just... This is also the annoying thing about loot running. Is that you spend the whole time like looking at the floor. And then somebody turns up and you're like, oh no, surprise. I guess this is okay. How much is the barter for this? Is it really cheap? 3 wires. It's actually not more. It's not worth doing. Not worth doing. Go and do that. Yeah, Merrin's okay. The building with iron gate, first floor, hole in the wall, room on the right, find tech spawns on the box on the floor. I mean, maybe we'll do it at some point. Yeah, this is the one that I'm using, is this thing. Because typically it's very cheap. And we need a loot lord. 60k for the loot lords. And then the bear buddies are normally about that as well. Like 62. It's very cost effective. It's like 120k. I think that's good value, personally. Oh, I've already got a car kit. What am I doing? What am I doing? Buildings 1, 2, and 3. What, in Concordia? Is that what you mean? I'd be surprised if that's true. On topic of Tarkov, I need an item. An alternate PMC and scavenger spots don't really know well. The only way to learn. Yeah, exactly. It's true. Yeah, you gotta go. You just gotta go there. Scavenging somewhere that you don't know is always a good idea. I actually was wandering around in the Czech area the other day, offline, just to test it out, see what it was like. Because I'm not a particularly experienced Czech 15 player. And by that, I mean I've hardly gone in that building. I kind of know some of the areas, like the post office bit, I know relatively well because I've just gone in there a bunch. But I didn't realize how it linked together, interestingly. And now I kind of know a bit more, which is kind of cool. But Bitcoin's Acer, COFDM. Merrin. Yeah, Merrin key. Oh, only got big bags left. Merenki was not too bad when I used it a little bit. Most of the time I don't spawn near it though, so there's like one spawn that's perfect for Merin, and the rest of them are very iffy because it's kind of on the other side. So you're sort of, I don't know, you're sort of sacrificing to being the first person into the nice buildings if you try and go there, if you know what I mean. Yeah, we'll just go with something cheapy, I think. We'll just take another night. Why not? F1 or something, that'll do. Like, we're primarily just going here to try and find this thing, so we don't need to go like Omega kitted. But yeah, it's annoying because I'm like clomping around the house, around the villa, and so people are hearing me and then they can just like wait for me to turn up, which sucks. Oh, it's 17 tick servers. I mean, there's so much desync, I don't think the tick rate even matters. Any advice someone who's literally dogwater the game? God, so many things. Map knowledge, like try and learn a safe route on each map that you want to play, basically. No, I've been watching 2 years and I haven't joined your Discord. What's his church in Discord? But we have a Scav Talk Discord as well, specifically. Iron Gate with the 2 scavs. Lighthouse building? Well, you can only go there if you've done the Lightkeeper quest, so that's kind of circular. Is MP5 a good idea for medium long range like Lighthouse? We're not playing medium long range, we're playing in the villas, in the cottages and stuff. I just want to try it out. We're doing the close range only. It's fine for fighting around village and around the villas themselves. I'm not going into the rogue camp. Is an AP6 too expensive compared to other similar options? It used to be. They made it cheaper. AP6.3 just isn't very good. Let's put it that way. I'm using the MP5 SD because I want to test it out after the recall changes, not because I specifically think it's super good. Like, if I was using a gun that I thought was really good and I knew I was going to get into PvP, I'd be using the AK-101 or the RD 704. To be brutally honest, they're just amazing. They're my favorite guns right now, but I want to check out some different weapons, you know, and try some things out after the shake-up, because I want to be able to report on them and tell everybody about what I think is good or bad. And so far, my experience has been every time that I've kind of spotted somebody first, or we've had a head-on battle, I've actually won with the MP5 so far. The problem with this now is that I'm getting jumped a lot because I'm like going dong 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 dong, clomping around inside the villas, which is really noisy, and everyone outside, if I get there first, and which I want to be because I want to be scouting around some of the spots before other people get there. But then it means that I guess I need to be a bit more careful from other people who are outside. Yeah, AP6.3 is not too bad now. It's now $4. It's like under $4. They did make it a lot cheaper. So it's not terrible. It's not terrible now, price-wise. But performance-wise, it's really not that great. Afternoon, Null. U6 safe key, it's cheap, it also spawns. Perhaps. Are buildings 1, 2, 3 water treatment and lighthouse? Yes, of course. I'm not going in there though, because there's just too many rogues. It takes me too long to finish a raid. I think Paraz means lighthouse, but I can't remember where U6 safe even is. Might be the lower chalet? I'm not sure. Ready to feel the difference between the SCAR and the 101? If you modded out the 101 with all the stuff, I think you probably would feel the difference. There's quite a decent difference in recoil between the two, in my opinion. And also, the SCAR doesn't feel like the SCAR fills the screens. The 101 feels a bit more sleek. Plus, you can get way more ergo on the 101 as well. Like, it's kind of got a bit of everything, which is nice. Whereas the SCAR starts to struggle. I feel like if I'm using the SCAR, I feel forced to use the mini monster suppressor to get a decent ergonomics, whereas with the 101 you can kind of get away with a lot more stuff. The thing is, the 101 build, if you use, well, it depends on what suppressor you want to use, but you can get away with all sorts of things on the 101, and it's like a 130k build or something. It's really not that much. Oh, I meant the SP6 ammo for the Val and the VSS. Oh, I see. Well, the thing about SP6 is there really isn't any other bullet that you can buy with the same performance that runs at the same recoil in a full auto gun from the trader. And that's the thing about SP6. They could make it, they made it through, like they've actually decreased it again, but they made it 3,000 or something. But even at that ridiculous price, maybe we can do Merin this time. Let's go to Merin this time. And we'll do Village again. Yeah, even at the ridiculous price of 3,000 rubles per bullet, then it's a question of, well, you can buy every cycle from the traders, so... And everybody says in this game, and this is kind of the point I wanted to make the other day when people were complaining about it, and I was like, everybody always says this money's so easy to make in this game, everyone has billions of rubles, yada yada yada, BSG fixed the economy. So what does it matter if it's 3k? No problem, right? It's no problem, surely, it's no issue, because everyone has loads of money. And people who are lower level or less experienced are probably not using the VSS. So does it really matter? I think maybe you pay for the access. I don't know. I feel like there's an argument to be made there. But they decreased it down to 2k. But I kind of disagree. I don't know. I thought it was sort of interesting in some ways. There is another spawn over here. You have to be a bit careful. I have to engage brain a little bit more. Okay. Trying not to just like blindly run into people. Lower chalet in the safe. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember which room it's in. I don't actually have the key. I'd need to go and buy it. We could go do that though. Sure of the spots to check. Like check 10 to 15 possible spawn in one area. Leave the next possible spawn fast. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the idea, I suppose. We're still learning it too, though. I'm not a massive lighthouse looter, so... Well, F you, money. Exactly. So we're going to hit Merin. Easy to get rich when you finish with a hideout. Indeed, indeed. Because you're not spending money on loads of GPUs and all sorts of other gump. Like, I'm basically poor forever. And then I suddenly finish the hideout, and then the money just goes... Whoosh, it starts to skyrocket. I'm always concerned about people camping up there, because I always go up there. In here. Okay. Take these out. Worth a little bit more. Now, I guess, yeah, we're going to run over and then go to the village is where I'm going to go next, I think. Might get shot at. Might do. Okay. Seemingly alright. Let's get ourselves a free pain again. Consistency of metaguns and not just shaft a gun or two. Yeah, I mean, the VSS just took a humongous buff though, right? I don't think it's fair necessarily to say that they've like shafted the VSS and the Val. There's other bullets too that you can use. They changed the craft. You can use SPP, you can use SP5. Not that I think that's good necessarily, but... I'm still trying to figure out what the best way to actually run up these rocks is. Because a lot of the time this is just painful. And then you get to the top and someone's there, and then you're like, no! as you have no stamina. I'm at 3k. I don't know. I thought it was okay. I feel like, you know, you can pay for top performance. I feel like it's alright. The economy of the game is broken. There's just the amount of money you can make with a hideout. That's a tough one. I don't know. I don't know if that's really necessary. I don't know. You have to use the hideout quite a lot. Like, it's a nice little... Was that somebody there or something? I thought I heard like a clicky of someone up on the rocks. I don't actually know. And they're not up here. I should put a laser on this, honestly. I should really put a laser on this. Just clear this house first before we loot all the things. Okay. Wander around looking for the little white dot. 200k for the toss man. Joke's on them. They obviously haven't watched the video because it basically makes no difference for the recoil, in my opinion. Ah, 6C10. Look at that. Right. Off we go. Now, I hope there's not somebody up there. Wait, oh, no, let me jump, no. Let me do the jump. You stupid thing. There we go. Up and over, up and over. 240k in ammo, assuming you take 4 mags, is quite high. Yes, but you need to stack, like everything in this game. You need to stack. Never assume that it's the full value. It's like in this, right? It's like PST at the bottom, AP 6.3 in the middle, PvP at the top. You need to be stacking now, I think, after 13, patch 13. I don't think you can just play. I am inside the time limit, right? I hope so. I hope I'm inside the time limit. If that's a run through, I'll be very sad. I think it's 45 Lighthouse. I can't remember. How many hours of playtime do you have on this wipe? This wipe on your account? I don't know. It doesn't tell you. I got 400 and something grades, so I'm not really sure. They're called the wooden boxes. Yeah, that's what I should do inside the villas for sure. I have to run up the rocks. You don't have to, but. I'm not surprised SP6 wasn't immediately trader banned. Yeah, same kind of in some ways. Good, it's a survive. Thank goodness for that. Finally got the last kill for chumming. And the perfect nade with Vog over container, nice. Yeah, I wouldn't go to... Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd do factory for the safe, in my opinion. Where would I... Safes, I normally go to customs, dorms. I do dorms too. I find dorms too to be a lot safer than the other one. Although you can... There's another key. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 safes that are kind of... There's one at the bottom of 3-story dorms. I say the bottom, like the one near the car. And then there's 2 next to each other in 2-story and 1 at the other end. And that's what I quite like doing, that little run. Because there's like 4 right next to each other. That's where I go. After 3k of SP6. Good money. I guess the thing is you can't sell it on the fleet. I don't know what the sellback price is, though. I don't know what the sellback price is. I think they mean for Shoreline, I think they mean like... There's one like gas station. There's one... there's a couple in Shoreline. I don't usually do Shoreline for that kind of thing. There you go. Right. Need 2 more. Although we actually need gas analyzers, amazingly. You can craft those, though, so it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It shouldn't be too hard to find, I don't think. Don't know, we'll see. We will see. Cool. So yeah, I think we're just going to do that again. Let's just queue back in. We're just trying to do these quickly, right? And we don't want to spend too long in each raid. That's the genius thing about this. You don't need to just like maximize loot. Spawns. That's the idea. That's the idea. Hello, Archibald. Two cottages, one in gas station, two in pier office. That's true, yeah. One in weather, yeah. We found any radios yet? We found two! Found two, both in village. Both in village. One inside... Was it Hillside House? I think it was inside Hillside House. And the other one in the brick house. Pretty cool. Might be worth a try. Most of I've had decent luck getting 1-2 kills extracted from factory. The factory's kind of hard, right? This is King Canyon. Part of the copyright music. I'm trying to listen to like lots of copyright free music, and I pick specific songs out that are actually good. Because it's like copyright music, there's a lot of like stuff that could be generated by a computer, let's put it that way. It sounds like it to me anyway. Even like the good sources, it's like most of the songs are just kind of boring. So I'm very picky about which ones I actually want to use. Where to find radios? Please help. We're looking in Merrin Car Boot. We're looking on Lighthouse, obviously. Hillside House. The brick house near Hillside House. Then we're looking in the upper chalet, higher chalet. It's like the south chalet, but the one that's higher on the hill. Those are the areas, mainly. Becky and Hodsey went to the same places. Had success. Okay, cool. Is it worth taking a CMS over Serve 12? It depends what you want to do. The thing about the Serve 12 is that you can heal breaks with it. I like taking a CMS and a splint separately because the Serve 12 just takes forever. So if you need to heal up a break, and sometimes you get two of them if you fall too far, right? I like having the option of doing both rather than having to use the Serve 12 and it take like a minute to heal 2 breaks. That's why I do it like that. Hillside House is goated. I didn't find that much stuff in Hillside House really, but how many spawns are you checking? This one's closed. Broadly, yeah, because otherwise, like, is there that much point going after everyone's been there? I don't know. Yes, Alex, so we're doing good today. We're doing good. We've died a couple of times. Every time we've met players, we've died, except for the first one, actually. We did kill that person. We've been jumped twice inside Chalet. But the RNG gods have been quite kind to us, so can't complain. Can't complain. Is the MP5 any good without the PvP on top? Yeah, I've got the PvP on top. Oh man, I've got rainbow mags. PvP, 6.3 underneath, PSD at the bottom. Ultimate ammo conservation and stretching is the idea. Nice thing about factory is it's also fun. Yeah, that's true. I like factory. I like factory. We'll take a grizzly. Yeah, you could do grizzly CMS. I think grizzly's just a bit overkill a lot of the time. I know Airwing Marine is a big grizzly. He's a grizzly guy. Talking about the med kit, obviously. Talking about the med kit. He can't understand my car kit worship, you know. You have to make a shrine to the car kit. Most people just use the Soleil because it's easy. Car kit, I think, is the min-max's choice. Grizzly is kind of the, I don't know, the heal-all. If you do it with the barter, then it's not too bad. But I just find like taking something in to raid every time that's like 25k is just a bit much, I think. I think a heavy bleed cheese combo is underrated. Maybe. Maybe. And actually, if you're craft cycling in the hideout, then you probably have cheese just being made anyway from Pars Meds or whatever. I use 20k for the 1440p. I use 20k. I could probably make it higher. I actually was going to make it higher, the bitrate on YouTube. I was going to make it 40k or something because it doesn't actually impact your CPU processing. It's not CPU, sorry, your encoding. It doesn't really impact how difficult the encoding is. Someone's got a wooden PC here. Whereas it came down in price. Yes, if you could buy them then that was good because everybody got one for the event. They flooded the market. They had to ban the med case because so many people were selling them on the fleet, and it was just the price completely crashed. Super funny. Super funny. Go PvP then, Grizzly? I don't know. Because you have to wait till the whole end of the animation if you want to heal like a heavy bleed. I still think that Salewa, if the optimal play is like double Salewa or something, really. But that means you're using heavy bleeds to heal with the Salewa, which is not very economic. But I think technically speaking, if everything costs 1 ruble, I think you'd go into raid with like 3 Salewas and just use them to heal heavy bleeds, personally, and then have a splint separate. I think that's technically the best thing, in theory. But yeah, I use Grizzlies afterwards. Agree. Hey, the Merin key spawn. We finally found it. Okay, well, we'll just do the same loop. We're just going to do the village loop then. Again. Over we come. Grizzly with hemo? Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad, I guess. Nothing? Oh my god. 2.5 times? Nah, because then you've got to deal with picture-in-picture on Lighthouse. I'm actually not sure what my FPS will go down to, but I think it's still, I mean, it's still probably manageable, but we're fighting at such close range on this one that I don't feel like I need the 2.5 times. Best way of getting vitality up. Yeah, I just shrugged the barbed wire too on shoreline. That's what I do. And that is what I do. That is what I do. Barbed wire. Show it a bit of love. Rub your face on it. This is a much more efficient route up, actually. Because we can come across this way. And then go around here. And we get there a lot quicker, actually. This is better. This is better, I think. So we don't get jumped from up there. Oh, I should have checked behind me, really. Oh, I did that. Okay, it's okay. It's alright. Good, 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 good. Okay, so what's in here then? Nothing there, nothing there. Acer under there. See, that's the tech spawn. That's the tech spawn that you can get. You can get the radio there. I found more Acer than anything else, to be honest with you, but Sprat can. Now have we got? Uh-oh. My dude's on the outside of the wall. Someone's up in here. We can try and get some high ground on these guys. I think that's just a scav. Yo, I'm Harold. Thank you for the prime, man. Yeah, just some random scav. Ooh. I'll reload this for a little bit. Yes, thank you for the prime, dude. Thank you for the prime. I'm gonna get into fights in the village at night time. Ha! Oh, they don't fix the silent walk? Yeah. They're still up in the building. If there are any radios in there, they're in their bottoms now. Where are those shots from? Oh wait, that's not even the building I wanted to be in, was it? No, I wanted to be in this building. This is the one I wanted. Didn't even want that one. Whoops. Ah. Oh, let me jump. Please let me jump. Hup, hup. There we go. Right. Oh. Power bank. Okay. I wonder if you can see them through one of these windows or something. No, I guess not. Fine. Doesn't seem like there's anything. This one. It's getting very dark now. God, it's so loud. Everything's so freaking loud. You know? Someone's gone inside Hillside. Oh, I can't even, it won't even let me stand up. I thought I had it on a single. I had it full, apparently. Whatever. Whoops, that's not the way out. Oh no, I closed the door, didn't I? It is the way out. No. Funny. Right, whatevs. We can just reset it, it's fine. Reset this because we're here. This is, as I said, this is kind of the beauty of this bit because you're literally next to the extract. So you can just run around, grab some things, and then just go, and then just reset it again. Hope did it fix the totally silent walk? Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, the wood noise is extreme. Like, I don't think if you were outside in like the garden of your house or whatever, I don't think that you'd be able to hear somebody walking inside on a wooden floor. I just don't think you'd be able to. I just think it's silly. It's just crazy. It's really noisy. Walking buildings, Tarkov makes it. Living in Tarkov, when it was actually popular, we were deafening. Yeah, can you imagine? Witness the man show visible confusions, how he survived being peppered. Well, it'll be interesting. We did kill that one scav, so it's hard to know. Kind of hard to know whether we'll exactly how much we did to that guy. Look at all this. Gosh, they all finished at the same time. It was a headshot. I don't know how many hits we got on target though. I count 8. Absorbed by armor. I mean, some of those will be on the guy. Like shooting at people at long range is not really the MP5's forte. You just have to be able to and hit them in the head. That's the deal. That's the deal. So today, later on, we're going to do the next segment, by the way. We're going to do the next segment of fun live tutorial content-y stuff. We're going to be talking about ammo and gun choices. Basically. Which is going to be kind of interesting. Now, let me just triple check what I actually even said I was going to do. I said, what should we go for next? Choosing the right weapon and ammo, that was it. And people chose that on the votes. Choosing the right weapon and ammo. So it's basically going to be a rundown of all the ammo and what progression level. Because I get asked about this constantly, like, what I'm at, X level and what should I use? I get asked all the time, so I was like, we'll do something along those lines. Oh, we got down into the PSTs. You know it's bad when you get down into the PSTs. Same here. One more of those. 9. That's cool. Right, so we should probably buy some more of this. I wonder how much we've got in general. 300 of those, 200 of these, 90 of those. Okay, well, we're doing okay. It's not too bad. As long as you can use a decent slug of different ammos, it's typically not... It's not awful. Using various guns and having to craft the stuff. Like, it's fine, as long as you're careful. I never really like the argument, oh, but if you take all PvP, then it's gone in 3 raids. And it's just like, yeah, that's not really the point, though. That's not the point. You're supposed to be saving it and stacking it and only using the good stuff at the top and whatever. Like, you can take it all in if you want, but you're going to run out in 3 raids, like you say. Did I have anything secure? No, everything else was good, right? Yeah, cool. Okay, I'm probably going to run to the bathroom. Or the next raid. Gun choice is a great topic. Yeah, it's more ammo, but next video I had to pick the right tea. The tea bag for perfect cuppa. I'm not really a big tea connoisseur. I just drink the same tea all the time. Right, I'm going to press the buttons on all the platforms, and then we're going to go and do the thing. Right. I really thought that guy earlier, we were going to see him, but he was going around the fence, right? I was really surprised that we didn't see him. I was like tracking, like, oh, he's just not there. Okay. Funny. Love the MP5 SD? Ah, it's good. It's fun. I like it. I really like it, but whether it's actually effective or not is another question. It's just one of those things you have to hit. It's probably not the right gun for me, you know? Probably not the right gun for me because you have to be able to hit your shots and hit headshots. It's like a headshot machine because the recoil is so low. So I'm much better off with guns that have got a bit more oomph, but also go on full auto. Luke Elliott? Who's Luke Elliott? SS190 needs a buff. Hot take. I think head HP should be 35. I do. Your favourite tea and why is it Yorkshire? Always the Yorkshire tea people. It's always the Yorkshire tea people that come out of the woodwork. Why? I didn't realise this is a stream. I thought it was a video. Oh no, it's definitely a stream. Sorry, 30. 30, not 35. I think 5 needs to be taken away. Dabster, thank you for the prime. Appreciate it. You're wild man for using it on Lighthouse? Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. Why not? Go for it, eh? The problem with SS190 is you don't get enough bullets, and it's a very mediocre round, all things considered. And you have to craft it, so you don't get enough from the craft. It takes too long. No one's going to use it. Everyone's using SP193. I guess you could stack it with the 193 and then maybe it's alright, but still it's very average. FMG is just better. Every SMG is ammo better than the SS190. Thing is, the P90's got the whole I have a 50 round mag by default thing going for it. So could you talk about good PvP spots in Lighthouse? Go to Chalets. Chalet's the best place for PvP. Okay, so we're going to go to Chalet. And we're going to go this way. 9x21 on Prapor 3. SR2M. More than the MP. Even though this MP7 is still king. Maybe. BT's still crafting, though. You still have to craft the BTs. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe SR2M is the way. MP7 has a non-zero amount of recoil. I haven't compared the two, though, the SR2M versus the MP7. Hello, Mister. Love the new tutorial vid. Really handy to help my friends that are new to Tarkov. Which one was that one? The one about Gear Fear, or...? Someone's already chunking away in the road camp. Why'd you run such little meds? Don't need any more than that. What do you think we could have done about mid to late white PvP? Was it going against Class 6 Chaz and have a Mosin? In fairness, they've already done quite a lot about that by stopping people from running Altins all the time, by putting them on... Well, taking Altins away from the traders. So now you can basically always shoot people in the face. I honestly don't think the Mosin is a very good gun for new players. I don't. I think it's a good gun for experienced players who are starting again from level 1, either at the beginning of a wipe or doing some kind of challenge account. I really don't think the Mosin is that good a gun for most people. Unless you're crack shot, in which case, well, then fine. It doesn't really matter then what you use. You know, the Mosin's, it's good for people who are a great aim, but I think shotguns are a lot better for people who are like new or not very experienced. Because almost nobody wears a face shield. Almost nobody. MP7 slightly better. Well, if it's better on recoil and better on ammo, then... Oh. That is sure interesting. Make sure I'm on full auto now, at least. Okay, that worked. If I'm not just going to get shot from the side or something through an angle I can't quite see. Where are these guys? He was on wood. He might be upstairs. The waiting game, I'm afraid. I used the Pro-P to try and heal my thorax. I reckon that's upstairs. If I'm wrong, I'd probably die. Now, you shouldn't be able to be heard at min speed. In theory. Was that me or him? Apparently that was me. Well played. Good fight in the cottages. Don't know how I missed you with the M1A. Hey, VM. I'm trying out the MP5. Got this guy up the stairs, though. I think he's upstairs. It's really awkward for me to push into this guy. What did the other dude have? It's something full auto. Oh, where is he? Oh no, where is he? I thought he'd be right there. I thought he'd be right there. Maybe it was on the stairs above me still? Under? Oh no, I'm freaking stuck. Who's got the nade out? So the MP5 is a good budget gun. I don't really know. I can't figure out where this guy is. I wanted to loot you if you have any nades. You surviving dead bodies on the outside on the balcony? Where is this guy? I'm so freaking confused. Does sound like he's right there, doesn't it? Below. I think he's in the stairs. Maybe. I keep looking down there, I can't see him. Can you throw a nade upstairs to check? I'm gonna try. No! We might even have killed him, who knows? That was pretty interesting though. That was an interesting fight. GG everybody who was there. Hope you got him. Don't know whether it would have recorded it early enough. We heard the nade go off. He was like right there. He could well have been in there and like retreated. That was a good fight though. That was fun. Let's see. Did I record it? Yeah, it was like really, really close to the end, right? It was really close to the end. I didn't think he'd come through behind me with such speed. That's why I lobbed it into that room rather than lobbing it into the room with the car. Shouldn't throw that nade? Maybe. I don't know. Is there a way to get him to push? I just was betting on the fact that I could get out of the way in time. Window peak was great. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. It was definitely questionable. We just killed Mark. Yeah, he moved really quick. It's because he just sprinted. As soon as I think it was because I set him off because I started to use the golden star. So I set him off that way. Let's see, what did we get hit with? Yeah, we just got SP6. But look at that, 3 blunt damages. You know, SP6 is, oh, and BP as well. My man's Val VSS in like crazy. Anyway, that was not bad. That was quite fun. Okay, Nade. Sounding like you might go front door, committed to garage. Yeah, it was, I don't really know. I'm not really sure. Because of how stationary we were, I feel like I wanted to do something and be on the move. Like he just caught me before I went in around the next area, which is a shame. So I kind of miscalculated there, but I wanted him to move and it did what I wanted it to do, but I ended up getting caught for it, I suppose, is the issue. But you know, it's okay. These things happen. I want to get better at that, fighting in that area anyway. You know? I'm also using the MP5. Like, I might have killed him if I was using something else. You never know. You know, looking through the window, pew, 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 like that, because I couldn't really see his head, so I had to just get off a few body shots. If I was using something with a bit more oomph, then maybe we would have won. We could switch over to a different gun. Like, I've got enough for the MP5, I think, to... Or maybe we'll use the MP5 again another time. I'm not sure. I'm going to keep revisiting it, and we'll come back to it again at some point. What else do I want to do? Oh yeah, I wanted to use the MCX at some point too. The MCX would be really good in that situation. Posted 2 clips to Discord. Discussion, if you want to see it. The Fence Elite Shop is really OP. No info on it. What's the Fence Elite Shop? What even is that? What even is that? Good morning, Cap Curry. You have 6 rep, you get... Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, that. I thought you meant it was like a location on the map. I've had 6 fence rep before. I never thought it was very good. Solo nade is very difficult. It is. Yeah. Solo nades are really hard. It's why I normally only bring 1. Why are these so expensive? Oh, is it because everybody's doing Zabralo barter? I guess so. We can sell that. I've actually got a couple, so we'll sell that one for now. Get rid of this, and then I guess we'll go required search, get another one of these guys, pop that on. Yeah, so what should we switch over to? Should we do MCX? Maybe we'll do MCX. What else have I got? So I've got like VSSs as well. I was using them for the videos. I've got some real guns in here. Got RDs. I've done something about the RD though. SR, that's a regular MDR. Could probably sell this, honestly, at this point. Like, we've kind of surpassed the 556 MDR, in my opinion. At least for now. Just get rid of this. And then, what else have I got? I've got, like, other stuff. I've got an MCX here, but this is the one that's, like, completely pimped out in the most ridiculous manner. I think I was just, like, trying to check out what the min recoil versions were and, like, how they look. Have a look at this thing. MP5 is dope. By the Vector, I didn't like it. It's a bit horizontally sprayy is the Vector. That's kind of the issue that you run into. So what's this? 55-50? I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's not the worst gun ever. It's not amazing, but it's not too bad. You can go slightly better on... Can you get 55-50? Can you do... If you go for this combo, how does this compare to some of the native... The native stocks? 60-42, that's all right. Yeah, most of these others are a lot worse. It's a lot more the same ergo, but worse recoil. Worse ergo, worse recoil by bit. A lot worse recoil. Yeah, so I mean that's much better. You can change the handguard too. Not that it really matters. After 42, I'm not sure if it matters too much. 8 inch, so go 60 and 42, and we can go to this one. We could even go to that one actually. Doesn't really matter. Let's do the equivalent just to check. 60 and 42. Okay, so you get like what? You get what? One recoil point. Literally doesn't make any difference, right? Makes no odds. So let's just start again with this, and we'll do the stock. We'll do the stock. Yeah, the max fence rep thing. Have they made it a lot better or something? Because it was really bad last wipe when I did it. It really was not very good. No one thinks it's any good, but it's ridiculously good. Check the clips. Not meta, but Gunga Bear. I think it could be better. What's not meta about it is the lack of a second ammo to stack with it. That's what really hurts this gun. Is that there's nothing else that you can put in it other than the second best round is not very good. That's the issue. That's the primary issue with it. But I mean, you can use 60 round as like it's not a bad gun overall. I don't think. I don't think it's too bad. Maybe just go with 260s or something. How terrible are these to reload? They're not great, are they? Because I've actually got some. Oh, you can't load ammo into this item. Well, that's wonderful, isn't it? Why not? Oh, it's full. I didn't even see the 60. I just saw the 0. Okay. Okay, so we've got 420 of those, and then we've got 300 M60 tracers. So we have to like pick what we're going to do and how much we're going to put in each. Given that this is the hard part. 429 is a lot, but it's not a lot, if you know what I mean. SR1 for getting stirrup done. Yeah, probably not bad. Big mag top load recoil bullet. Nice with this one. Recoil change if it's still needed. Played Streets Night. Found 4 safety having 3 streets raids. Where it's in check building under the stairs in the box bank area in the spawn box just past the dead scav. I'm not sure. I can't tell exactly what you mean from that. Or played on Chalet, I was scared. First wipe, GG. Cuban. It was good fun, dude. It was good fun. Is Veritas your hero? I respect Veritas. I respect Veritas. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go 40. Oh, gosh. And we're going to go 40 and 20. Something like that. I don't know whether that's too stingy. But we just got to hope that it's all right. And then we're going to go with the usual business, I think. Any tips on completing Punisher 4? I think you basically go about it one of two ways, which is you either take ages and snipe people, or you rush into resort with the best ammo that you have available in a high fire rate gun. I did it a lot earlier in the wipe, so it's not necessarily still valid, but I did it with 20 rounders and the MP7. I wonder what is actually like the easiest cheap bag to buy. We don't need anything huge because we're not really doing crazy looting. We're just like looking for this particular item. I'll have to just buy an MBSS and then just use someone else's. I want to take like a huge bag, not really. We'll go like that. And then look at these. These things have seen some business, right? 8.5s. This one's cool. I like the green shimmer. It's my favorite. Yeah, we'll go Propy. The Propitol was really useful last time, you see, because I had a little bit missing from my chest, but I didn't want to give away the fact that I was there or healing or whatever. So sometimes the Propitol is really good just for getting those like last couple of ticks. Okay, let's get a bit of food and water. 5 of them. 5 of them. 8. Oh, that was too many, but it's okay. Right, let's go in. Go in. Lighthouse. We'll go late. We're not going to be there for a long time, so should be fine. It's got the butt pad on it, right? No, I'm missing the butt pad. What? Because I did it from the modding screen. Here we go. Cool. Better. Better. There we go. 20 on top, rest M62. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm doing. It means where check 15 is. What are you collecting COFDM for? Lightkeeper. It means the main staircase inside, not the back alley door. There's a box below that sometimes has good items. Interesting. Okay. Before you go up the stairs to go to Iron Gate, under the staircase. Before you go, oh god, before you go up the stairs to go to Iron Gate, yeah, under the staircase in the box, there's a spawn and then in the bank area. I don't know about the bank area, I'm not sure. Well, you can go Skybridge, it's in the front room where the dead scav is. God, which one's that? You mean post office or bank? I'm not sure which. Like, it's quite big, that area. Do you have a shootable in Heaven guide? No, because I haven't done it this wipe. I don't really like sniping, so I haven't made any guides on it. I think you're running 545 AK with 60s as a scav vest, only had 2 slotters. That's honestly not a bad idea. That's okay. That can work with BT and stuff. That's all right. Street shooters killing me? Oh, yeah, I'm just not doing it. Why not Salewas? Well, cars are even cheaper. I just never need the amount of health that a Salewa gives you. Punisher 5 is a pain, but you can do Punisher 5 on factory, so even though it might be expensive, it gets done really quickly. Recommended shotgun shell? Honestly, any of them. 7mm, 5.5mm, Magnum, whatever you prefer. I don't like the check clips whilst loading in. Okay, well, I'll press the button and then give a quick look. Fence shop is broken. Let's see. What have you got there? Wait, hold on. What was in here? A Mark 18 Mjolnir with a razor on it for 300k. Flick for 280k. Subsonic SX. ETG for 30k. That's pretty good. Did they actually fix it this wipe? Is it actually doing what it's supposed to be doing? X grids and stuff? It just gives you the ability to access. That's actually nutty. Okay. Maybe they've actually fixed it. That's how it was supposed to be. That's how it was supposed to be. Post office. Yeah, okay, cool. I've been running it a little bit as Scav just to kind of familiarize myself with the area. Why an MCX and Lighthouse? Because we're playing CQB, and I think we might be able to take advantage of other people using a what would you call it? Like a jack of all trades kit when we're using something that's very specifically CQB orientated. That's kind of the idea. Because we're going to be going to Village, we're going to be going to Upper Chalet, like Southern Chalet, I guess you call it, like the higher Chalet. And then ducking out. Like, we're not going to the camp, so I don't think we need to. Which could show you. Find them so much. No, I'm good, man. I'm good. Appreciate the offer, though. Greetings. Hello, Noobish. Got a raise for it. It resets randomly every 7 to 10 minutes. You got to try and get the good stuff first. Some of it's quite expensive, though. Like, it's pretty pricey. Okay, I shall try with some AP20. AP20's okay. I'm not a huge fan of AP. I don't really like slugs very much, and I don't like AP20 that much, because it's only 50-50 through class 4. And against class 5, it can be really, really hard. For budget, if you can buy Flechette, Flechette is by far the best, in my opinion. I like Flechette. It destroys armor. Best thing was a Tiger for 750k. Huh. Always works, but bot scripted clean. I don't think it used to work. I don't think you literally would refresh and nothing would ever come up, right? Because it should show you the items at least. Like, you know, when you're refreshing it on in the Discord, you can actually see the stuff and then it says sold out. Like, it just never used to appear. If you can buy Flechette from Mechanic, then it's not too bad. Crafting it's a pain though. What do you think the best shotgun ammo is next to AP20 and Flechette? I mean, technically speaking, it's Magnum Buckshot. Technically speaking. I don't get on with it because it kicks too much. And I've used the 153 so much with Flechette that I find it difficult to use with Magnum Buckshot because of the extra recoil increase. I just find it hard to use. It goes against my muscle memory of using those guns. So I would rather use 525mm or 7mm Buckshot. Why the MCX? Because we're playing CQB, in short. Is 50 BMG worth? Nah, I don't think so. If you want to go slugs, then you probably want to go for something like rip slugs to the leg. Or something. But I find using slugs and shooting people in the leg, I just find the whole thing really awkward. Where are we? Where is this? Oh, we're here. Merin, I guess? Is Merin a good idea on this one? Maybe. Yeah, people were talking about the level 6 fence shop. Yeah. Because Dartre came into... He posted a load of clips in the Discord of, like, finding a Mark 18 Mjolnir on there with a razor on it, and slicks, hex grids, whatever you want. Seems pretty nutty. The Shet doesn't sell for profit on the flea, if that's the one you're talking about. It doesn't... I used to... I'm not actually sure anymore. If you've got max hideout, then it might. But without Intel 3, the fee kills you. But they did actually change it so that A, Flechette is a bit cheaper, and B, the fees are not as high. It was definitely not profitable at one point. For sure. For sure. But the recipe is a bit... Is the recipe that's cheaper? Or was it just the fee? Maybe it was just the fee that changed. I don't see him. Well, that was lame. How did I not kill him? Apparently I'm not used to the MCX. The recoil's still too high, maybe. God. It's going to be embarrassing, the number of shots on this one, I think. I thought, yeah, we'll just run around the corner and then we'll just beam him with it. It's fine. We're not using the AK-101 anymore, boys. We're not using the AK-101 anymore. I know, the leg was broken, I know. I don't think... Did I... I didn't take a nade, which was a mistake. But, let's see how many I actually hit. I don't know whether it's the MCX that's trash or whether it's me. It's probably me. I only hit him 4 times. It's a me thing, guys. It's a me thing. Oh, we had M995. Broke both my legs and then shot me straight through the chest 3 times. Sag. It's definitely a me thing. I haven't used it all wiped, so we've got to get back into it. We're moving into the 800 RPM guns again. After using 600 RPM or 650 RPM guns for so long, there's a bit of a muscle memory thing to it, you know? There is for sure. There is for sure. Yeah, I need to pre-med too. Yeah. I think that's like 75% me. Probably even more like 80% me. M6 is crazy. Kick it, shake and kick. From that distance, you should be able to kill them though. Definitely. I don't think that's the gun's fault, not being able to kill them from that range. That's my problem. For sure. For sure. We'll take the other one out. Let's take the other one out, but we're going to pimp this one up a bit. And take off the RK2, because the RK2... No one ever likes the RK2, do they? No one ever likes the RK2. I had a black one, I think, just in my stash, so we'll go with that. Yeah, there we go. Let's try this. Then 2 mags in the hideout? Yeah. 100%. 100% a good idea. Let's take these boys, I guess. Unless we do one and the other. Do I want to use like all my mags? Probably not. We'll take another one that's regular. 260s is like pretty out there. Let's go again. 40, 20. So that way we lost a little. We only lost 40 rounds of AP. So it's not actually too bad. It doesn't hurt too much. I know what the problem is now. So what we need to do, we need to load. Here we go. So we need to load Blackout AP. We unload it. This is now my finding raid stuff. We need one non-finding raid. Ah, no, I need to... I screwed that up there. Oh, whoops. There's a strategy to this. AP, unload. Here. Pop that up. I move that across, that's going to leave 1 here, and we top that up. There we go. That's the way. Bosh. 1. Top up. Bosh. Because you need to get rid of the finding raid tag. Top up. 1. Bam. There. So that should be all of the AP rounds. We've now fixed it. Good. We can stick this back in here. I didn't have... So the problem with this, when I was crafting it, I didn't have any 300 AP. There was finding raid. There was not finding raid that I'd actually brought in because I haven't used any yet. I haven't used any. And so now we can top it up. That's better. Right, so we'll go... Actually, in the backup mags, we should probably have a little bit less even, I would say. Still go 20. We'll just do 10 on top. That's fine. This is how I use it with M905, although the problem is the underneath stuff is nowhere near as good as like M905 equivalent, if you know what I mean. That's always the issue with this, is that M62 is more like 5.6 A1. That's the problem. So I'll just spam about it, but if you want to see the results of a month's worth of farming in the shop, I posted 1 more clip. What have you got this time? Is that all from the shop? All the Gen 4s, Hex attacks, Redoutes? Would you say though, so how much is a Redoute M? How much is a Redoute M on the fence? Is it cheaper than if you buy it from Ragman? Because that's always the question for me. If it's not cheaper, then I feel like I can just buy the equivalent thing. Slicks and stuff, maybe, because you're just buying them for rubles. And the equivalent, if you're doing it with 1 billion trooper armors and stuff, is really expensive. So that one probably does make sense. The ones that have got weird barters, and things like the Hex attack, because, yeah, they've got strange barters and they aren't really very worth it. So you can probably use armors like the Defender 2 and stuff like that, which, because they don't have a cash purchase price, you're probably better off. You're probably better off buying them from there. But I don't really know. Oops, I meant edit preset. Right, here we go. I thought one of those I'd be able to use the cantilever, but apparently not. Okay. I recall heavy bad ergo. Right, here we go. Gonna need, yes, gonna need some help. Where can I find your clips on that? Sounds interesting. Just straight in the Discord, yeah. So I tried to fire it like this. So like it really... Oh, it starts to wiggle around at the end for sure. If we're ADS'd, it's probably alright. The thing about it is that you need to make sure you control the beginning. That's the problem. That's the main issue with it. Like there is some bounce, but it's not the worst ever. If you don't control it, it looks like this. And that's the issue. You need to fix this part. But the M4's no different. It does take a while to settle. That is probably a bad thing. It goes... And it's only then that it settles. It's probably about 10 bullets before it settles down properly. Meh. 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 Not sure. Oh, I've got a full MP7 in there. What should we use? I probably can't buy any more of these because of the reset. I think I used all my ones. Yeah, I've used all my ones. Let's just go with a gazelle or something. Your neighborhood friendly gazelle. I got nearly all the stuff for it. Get one of these. Get one of those. Great. And then yeah, we'll just repair this guy. Modding? Not modding. Not modding. Come on. One of them. One of these for now, that thing. Right, then we actually need a rig now. I guess we can go for Umka, that will do. One of those, and then let's take 2 of these guys. Yeah, 2 of them, and then. Fine. And then Propitol. Bash. And then a nade. Oh, I forgot the nade last time. A bit silly, really. Definitely on my bad. Yeah, I think we're just going to buy some of these. I don't want to use the mega bags. We're just doing this search. And also, these are really light, so it gives us the ability to do some nice stuff. I feel like I prefer it down here. Maybe I'll move that there. Right, let's just try this. Let's just try this. We'll put a pair of glasses on as well, because we may as well. And then we need to heal. And then we should be good. We'll try it again. Okay, let's go. Lighthouse. I often find that you get quite a lot of stuff back from Lighthouse, because people find it quite hard to actually extract. Right. Run at the beach, always find someone? Yeah, I know. Don't think tier 5 is worth with only 2 mags and a scav vest. A and AM2 if you can do Ragman 3. That's my favourite. Why do you need to get rid of your finding raid on your ammo? Because it doesn't let you stack it or put it in the mags otherwise. It needs to be non-finding raid, otherwise it won't mix with your non-finding raid ammo. That's the problem. The board will expect better results in future, Agent Gigabeef. Indeed. Trying to do the quest where you kill 20 players close to island legit? Yes, because they've changed it. So now you basically do it across the whole of the south of the rogue camp. It doesn't actually matter. You can just kill people anywhere, which is great. How do you rush the scav rep? You take cars. Car extracts. Might be cheaper? Maybe. I don't know. I should have put the chat on. Sorry. Bug jailbreak Thor if you want to do testing. I think I'm okay with it now, but thank you for the offer. Want to like 3D Blackout, but I think it's super. Think it's a super SMG. Yes, exactly. But we were using the MP5 before, so that was kind of the idea behind this whole thing. Try the longer barrel. I think it'll be okay. Something wrong with the MCX? No events. They are going to do some apparently, but are the recoil profiles the same in ADS and point fire? They should be. Classic Giga car kit, indeed. Yeah, so you can do the first assessment part 1. You can now do across the entire map up until the south of the road camp, which is great. Thoughts on TTSK? I think it's really good. I've already used my 2 though, because we've died a bit because we're going to chalets. I think it's really good. I like it a lot. It absorbs way more damage. It's not very good if you're getting peppered all game by all sorts of random crap, right? But if you run into one dude and he shoots 3 rounds of 5.56, if he shoots 3 rounds of M855A1 at you, you'll survive. That's the whole point. Accidentally killed Santa. Boo. Is your playlist curated or just a radio? It's curated. I have it on shuffle, but it's curated. I'm adding more tracks as time goes on. All copyright-free stuff. Some of the stuff I use in my videos, you'll probably recognize them as well. But yeah, I download them and I have them on my PC in a playlist. Anyone get any ideas until there's a patch? They said there was going to be one end of April, but Nice Guy was speculating that they kind of did it, but in lots of different bits and pieces by changing the recoil and doing other stuff. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Who knows? The smooth jazz meister. Yeah, I like all of the funky jazz copyright-free stuff. There's not that much of it, so you have to really scour to find it. Really scour. It does take a long time to get into Lighthouse, it seems. The queues I feel are kind of long on Lighthouse. Maybe it's just because it takes some people a long time to load. I'm not sure. How goes the raids? Not bad. We had a really good string of luck, found 2 of the radios straight away, and now we're dying in PvP again. But yeah, it's alright. We're doing good. Are you a Wolfpack fan? I've never heard of them. I've never heard of them. Yeah, I should use some more car extracts really to get my fence up. I think I'm at about 4 now. Nice Guy said the big changes would warrant a wipe. Apparently. I don't know why everyone's talking about the end of May. I hope it's not the end of May, because I'm going to be away at the beginning of June, so that would suck. My wingman upgraded his M2 and dropped the load time in half. Yeah. I have an M2. They're very cool. They're very cool. Where are we? We are all the way up here. As I said, we're not doing road camps today. Not doing that road camp. Okay, we'll go and check the crashed van.
Gold, please. Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. Jen, thank you for the 4 months, dude. Merrin car, yeah. We've been there twice. It was okay. We didn't find anything yet in there. When we were looking for VPXs, I didn't find any then either. So it's okay. But what's the Rogue's health pool? It's big. It's high. Really high. Forgot this was live. Yep, we're live, baby. Real time. We're out of town at the end of May. I think it'll be the end of June. I think it'll be the end of June. See, people, I have it on good authority that stuff spawns here. I never find anything here. I never find any tech spawns anyway. Dunno. When Arena comes, are you going to make content for it? I will probably make some content for Arena. Kind of depends, really, but I'd like to. Yeah. Would be fun, I think. This is a chill spawn. Not too bad, is it? Could be worse. Probably want to go over this bridge rather than over the main bridge. Doing Lenny's 2. Now, we actually finished that one. We're doing the first task for Lightkeeper. Network provider. Well, it's for mechanic, but it's the first quest in the Lightkeeper series. Daboy's already grenading. That's one building I want to go in. We'll go in Hillside first, if I can. Okay. Right. Trying the MCX out. We've only played it once so far. It was not great. But I'm not very used to it, and it was me. It was my fault. It was my lack of experience with the gun in recent times that caused the death rather than the MCX itself, I would say. Nothing, nothing. Oh, kind of lackluster. All right. Next house. Whoa. Okay, it was not at me, it's fine. Come on, go in hard with the SVD. Up we come. So this is where we found one already. Is it just a magnet this time? Magnet. Okay. This house is also pretty good for defending the area. We've realised. As you can see up there, you can see across the road, and you can reposition inside the house to get to various spawns and stuff. Oh, not spawns, but just get to various bits of outlook. You can see people crossing the bridge. It's quite a good house to defend. I quite like this property. I have since decided. On the desk, anything under here? No, no luck today. Ban for Iridium? Nah. MCXX's gun? Should be technically, shouldn't it? Now the question is, do we go to villa cottages now, or do we go to try and run across to Merrin? Because the thing is that people will be in cottages already now. So it makes me a bit nervous. Everyone the 103? I tried it. Well, actually, I tried the AKM. I didn't try the 103. I tried the AKM, which is similar-ish. And I didn't get on with it. I'm not sure if I like the lower grade 7.62s, to be honest with you. Not sure if I'm really into them. I like the RD. But the thing about the 103 and all of those is that the 103 can't unlock the low levels of recoil. Because it doesn't get the 308 adapter, like the AKMs do. And then you have... just that the RD gets such good ergo as well. As well as recoil. It's just kind of the best of everything. And Mutant's got faster fire rate, but... that's the time to kill master, but it's obviously a lot more expensive too. The RD you can kind of... mod that out like relatively budget and still perform pretty well. So I don't know. Laser beam AR? Nah. This is an MCX. Wish you could figure out Lighthouse. Lighthouse is a bit confusing. Just have to practice. Just play outside and don't go into the road camp for a while, because the road camp's kind of obvious. Oh, God. That's the goons. That's also a player, though. Over here. Who did I get killed by? Who did I get killed by? Someone sniping? I don't know. Someone snipped me. I had the goons one side. It might be Bird Eye. I had the goons the one side. I had the player in front. Sag. Let's see. Do you have over 60 durability? Yeah, definitely. Followed Gunsmith Part 1 guide, but I cannot hand it in. Has been any changes since your vid? Post it in the Gunsmith board on the Discord, and we can help you. No, it was a player. It was a player. Killed Big Pipe. Only need to kill the other one now. Oof, yeah. I got the poor magnumed. After getting M6 wand. That's semi-unfortunate. That's a 50-50. That's not a guaranteed pen through class 5. It's a 50-50. Especially from a distance, actually. I don't know where he was, but... that's really tricky, right? Got PMC in front, got the goons behind me, and then a guy snipes me from like another freaking rock. Can't be mad about that. What's your opinion on the 101? I think it's awesome. I love it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. Found the new more of the alien muzzle brake. Now I just bought one off the fleet to test it, but that was it. White name. Yeah. What armor? I was running a Gazelle. I'd have been fine if I was using the TTSK rig. But sadly, I ran out. I ran out of them. What I should do is stock them up, because I use them all the time. I should stock up on those. Okay, so... we didn't really get to give the MCX a proper run out. I did kill a goon, which is nice. What are we going to do? 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 Yeah, place to the left, goons to the right. Here you are stuck behind a rock in view as a sniper. Indeed. Did they fix the flashlight bugs? No. Didn't. The barter's so cheap. It is. It is. I really think the Scar is better. I'm just trying to test a few things since the recall change, but yeah, it doesn't feel that good. It's one of those things where I wouldn't say that it's better than the RD, for example. And we can use one of the RDs. I do enjoy these guys. I feel like high fire rate is still in a bit of a tricky spot. What one's this? Is this like a super one? Oh, this is actually a super one. Yeah, we can make a really good one here. 6841. For an RD, that's pretty intense. We could even maybe buy... I guess we'll equip that on it just so that we've got it to hand. And then we can do this. I can even get one of these. It's funny, the difference between these two is really not that much. And this one's a lot more expensive, I think, because it looks a lot cooler and it's like one slot. That's the thing about it. Let's buy one. Let's see. Try it. Nice having chonky mags sometimes. Where did my grey magazine go? Up here. We'll buy another one of those. Oopsie daisy. Yeah, I need to stack up on those TTSK rigs. I really should. Well, we should be using all this extra space for. Stacking up on nice rigs and things. I don't really want to use that because it's half damaged. Bit nasty. I mean, if we're going in CQB only, maybe we do this. Maybe we get this guy. Because I have the stuff for these. I buy it periodically. You know, like the book parts, because they're about 40k. And then these bake easy things, when they go under 30, probably worth it. Well, we can wait on that. We've got all the other parts for it. Let's go this. We're going to go with a chonky build. Let's see. I keep swapping around guns and stuff, but normally that ends in disaster. Usually swapping around guns is a bad idea, just because you build muscle memory with one gun. But it's just kind of boring using the same gun over and over. You know, it's just how it goes. Just how it goes. Again, BP, because it's a crafty one, it's hard because you don't want to run out. You don't want to run out. And that's the thing. If you're just running the same gear over and over, then it makes absolute sense and it's really no big deal. But yeah, if you're, I don't know. Well, what should we go with for this? I feel like people using high pens, there's kind of no point using just the face shieldy ones. Maybe we go ULAC. We'll buy ourselves a ULAC actually. Let's buy an actual ULAC. We're going to go kitted. Why not? Let's do it. And by an actual ULAC, I mean a black one, not the funny old beige one, because I'm not a fan of the beige ULAC. It's a shoot me please. It performs identically, but it's a big target. How much is it? How much are the humpback salmons? Oh, they're expensive. My humpback barter, it's been ruined. It's been ruined by my own advice. No one to blame but myself. Always the worst thing, isn't it? Always the worst thing. Okay. So we are slightly over. But what I think we're going to do... Let's buy a Meldonin, because we might not be overweight if we use Meldonin. This thing gives you extra stamina and is actually really, really good. I've got one in here. I should probably not carry this around, because I basically use it at the beginning of a raid or not. We'll use that at the start. Again, we'll take just a regular bag. It doesn't really matter. We're there for very specific items, so I don't really care. I just want to find those radios. We need to survive the PvP. This is the issue. We need to survive the PvP before we can do that. So we've got grenade, this. We are a bit heavy, but as I said, it might be fixed by using the Meldonin. Because this thing gives you 10 strength. It might fix this problem. It might not. It might not, but it doesn't matter too much. Right, let's go. Let's just try it. Let's go to Lighthouse. Let's do it. Let's do it. This is actually a good class 5 as well. It's pretty good class 5. Do you guys think 338 AP will pen a cold back? Is that Blackrock? It's good. Yeah. Factory shotty run? Maybe. Maybe we do that after this. We're going to be doing the weapon ammo rundown that's going to go on YouTube soon. Stacks of 7.6254 gathering PS Gathering Dust. Is the round relevant? I think it's good as a stacking round over BT. It's like buying the Thor IC full and going Juggernaut, Sniper on Lighthouse. That's funny. Give you some BP? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. We got it. We got it. It's okay. I think 54 RPS is okay, yeah. I think, but you can buy BT, so I think it's good. And Altin Zabralo to factory get Silent Caliber done. That is fun. I love Altin Zabralo, but you have to be so careful now because the Altins, you just can't buy them. Trimadol SG6? Yeah. What's the humpback trade? It's the one that gets you a car kit for cheap. Need more of your raid breakdown vids like the one on customs? I was surprised as to how many people really liked it. I thought, we'll try it. We'll give it a go. So I'll probably do another one of those. Maybe I do like one every other week or something. We'll intersperse them with each topics. Then I'll say, right, we're going to do a raid one. Which map would you like? And I'll pick some raids. And then I'll say, what map would people like to see? A factory one, labs one, and reserve or something. I don't know. Like whatever I've got in my archive. And I'll be like, okay, these are interesting raids. We can get people to pick. And then we'll do that every other week maybe. And we'll see how the other ones go. Depending on how, I don't know, we could end up doing them every week. I'm not sure. It's a new thing, this Monday video, so I'm not sure. And the whole idea is to record something that's useful, that people like, that doesn't take me forever to make, because I can record it all in one take and not have to spend like 4 to 5 hours editing it. Because that's the problem that I have with my existing stuff. The throughput of my videos is a bit slow. And so this helps just, you know, oh gosh, get a bit of additional content out there without sacrificing something in my life. We'll see. Speaking of the flashlight, oh gosh. Oh, my desk has fallen out. Running night vision on interchange and shooting out the lights. IR lights and lasers are great and no one else can see. Huh. Interesting. Is it Trimadol or Meldonin? Yeah, it's the Meldonin. But we're going to be near the extract most of the time on Lighthouse, so it should be fine. Just met the goons at Chalet. Yeah, same. Same here. You hate Shoreline or Interchange more? Interchange by far. Interchange by far. It's not even close. Not even remotely close. Raid Breakdown was the best tutorial style I've seen. It's funny because it's one of those things that that video performs worse than all of my other videos that are not Gunsmith. Not by a long way, by like a little bit. It's kind of tails at the bottom end. But the people who liked it really, really like it. So that's fine. You know, that's completely fine for me. It's nice to be able to produce something that's a bit easier. And that format is extremely difficult to do edited anyway, because there's so much map movement and it's pausing the video and stuff, and doing that in an edit is really hard. But doing it by re-recording, you lose a slight bit of quality, but it's pretty high quality on my end anyway before I send it all out, and then YouTube destroys it with the compression regardless, so I don't think you really lose much. Interchange is so fun with the lighting change, it's popping off. I'm just scarred, I'm afraid. I'm scarred. We haven't started doing long line. We'll see how my opinion changes once we start doing long line. I can do it now because we're level 45. So. Are you doing content for money or because you enjoy it? Both. It's both. I couldn't do it like this if it didn't pay anything, because I have to eat. But I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't enjoy it, because there's other things that I could do that would make more money. Let's put it that way. I don't know. It's both. It's the perfect combination of something that gets you by but is also really enjoyable and has just a good lifestyle with it, right? I have 2 young kids and I wanted to see them. I didn't want to be hauled back to an office, which is what started the whole journey, really. What's your favourite labs keycard to use? I haven't really used them. Black, probably. I actually bought black, but I haven't used it yet. I haven't really been back to labs. Is this work sustainable? Are you and the fam comfortable? Yeah, we good. We good. We good. Obviously, always, you know, looking for growth and that kind of stuff to try and make sure that we're all good. Thinking about the future and blah, blah, blah. It's complicated, and everyone's always thinking like, oh, do you know, what happens if something happens to Tarkov and you need to branch out and yada, yada. We'll see. We'll see about those things. No, 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 Propitol. Do not. Do not! Own streamer item in game. We've talked about this a bunch. I think it's probably gonna, at this point, it probably has to be the 2x2 can of Giga Beef. You know, like a big can of Giga Beef. It would have to be. You look so young. I do look young, yeah. I have a baby face. Love working from home. Company moves us beginning of lockdown. See no reason to send us back. Yep. Where I worked, had a different opinion. They had a different opinion. And we came to a head. Not a labs guy, but I found green and died with it in my container. She should buy them. I think there's a bug. So maybe keep on... I mean, you're going to keep hold of it anyway, because you don't really have any alternative, but... I think there's a bug right now. There's definitely a bug going on right now, which means that random traders just are not buying items that they should. So you should be able to sell it for a couple of mil to therapists at some point, but just hold on to it until they fix it. If head goes to 30, where would you send the other 5 HP? I just lower the whole health pool to 435. It's not gonna make any difference. You could add a couple of HP to each limb if you really wanted to, but I don't think it matters much. 2 slot, 2 shonka, exactly. 2 slot, 2 shonka. Right, where's the boys? Nobody here yet. Or they're camping. Is that Scab voice? Or was that the goons? Could be the goons. We know that they're broadly around here. Is that voice closed, that one? I think we're going to go upstairs. Just to start with. Kind of more of a sure thing. We can fight in this area. I feel a bit happier looting up here. Just because I can't be jumped from a random angle. You Man City fan? I don't really follow football, if I'm honest. Not really a football follower. So sad when she wouldn't buy it. Thanks, info. Yeah, it should be okay. You should be able to do it eventually. Into the game cave. Yeah, they want to release it on Steam at some point. They haven't said when. It's probably want to do it with 1.0, I would imagine. That's probably what I would think. STM. Apple juice. Okay, right. To try wearing active headphones IRL is amazing. Yeah, I never have. I've never tried them. Got the splints out. Fantastic. Who cares about Steam when it's coming to GOG Galaxy? I'm right. Okay, well... I'm slightly nervous. Slightly nervous that we haven't seen anyone. Now it's on the table, nothing on that. More apple juice up here. I'll drink some of it in a minute. More juice, don't care about that really. Nothing here. We did in there already. Let's have a look around on the tables and up in here. The weapons rack, let's do that one. 4-slot steak. That's the one, the 4-slot steak. Elder Pro. Anything in this? I don't know if anything can spawn in those even. I haven't really heard it. I haven't heard anything. Very nervous making. One of these areas that I don't really like going into is the theatre, because then you've got this horrible left hand. You can get really pinned in here because this left hand peak. The only way to get out. You can just sprint. If the door's properly open, then you can just sprint across. In fairness, could be worse, but like that, and it's not too bad. Go to this bag. Let me in. An wipe idea, replace all scav kits with killer. That would be something. That would certainly be something. Med's room. How goes the hunt? Not too bad. We found 2 quite early on. Oh gosh. The Meldonin, it slaps your... Oh, we should have the Iskra really. Have the Iskra. But now because the thing's gone, with max metabolism, it only runs for half of the time. It runs for half of the time of the stim. So you have the bad energy and hydration for a little bit, and then it goes away.
За хлебушком. Ну чё, попадос вам тут всем залетные. Нормально. Чики-брики, пальчик-вики.
Yeah, it is player scavs.
Опачки.
Whatever. Where's this guy gone? Down there somewhere. Really? I didn't even know where I was shooting him from. Suppressed RD? Like, okay. Guess you could probably hear it. It's outside of the 100 meters, so maybe fair enough. That's the set at all. Alright, this is when we should put the Popey, really. Load a couple of these bullets. What gun and ammo did you recommend for level 16 again? Actually, we're going to go through that very soon. Well, an AI scav? No, it's definitely not an AI scav. Just the way that, like, AI scavs don't move like that. No chance. Did we think there were two? Okay, so they already looked in there, didn't they? I'm not sure if they would have looked in here, though. Don't know. Anyway, let's go... Oh god, am I getting shot at? I don't know if that was collateral or me getting shot at by somebody. So I think what we're going to do is run to Hillside House. Because I want to start my segment in a minute. Did I look in here? Not sure if I looked in here, actually. I want to go over to the house bit. I did? Yeah, okay. Well, if we don't find anybody else, sometimes it's interesting because if you don't find anyone else... Oh my god, please let me over. If you don't fight anybody else, then you know exactly what you did to that one person. Which is often kind of interesting when you find out. But we're going to go down to this section. We're going to go and do the village area. And then we will go out through past the shoreline. We're going to use my Hillside House key. And we're going to look in that tech house again. So many areas on Lighthouse that are just really awkward to play in. Concentrating on you rolling a fat one with you on the second monitor. Love it. Eye lasers still give you point fire? I think they do, but I don't think they give as much as before. I actually am not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure now. Ooh. Wait for arrival. Airspace congested. Ah, was that somebody using the flare? Must have been. Did you check Merrin? I haven't yet. But it means we need to cross the road. Which is a bit awkward. Yeah, so someone used it over here. Wait, it was further... I always get the wrong... Why do I always go to the wrong house? I always end up going to the wrong house here. Look at YouTube channel, didn't see any video about the org. What do you think? It's okay as like a budget M4, but I just don't think it's that good really in general. It's alright. It's alright. It's like the G36, it's alright. don't think there's anything in this room. Nothing down there, no. I mean, this is maybe hit already now. Go and see if the hillside house key is someone's used it. Perhaps not. No, it's not been done. Good. Dog tag trade for the item case. No, I don't think that's necessary. I think it's just too many. I think it's just too many. Can Red Rebel drop to raid? Yeah, only if it's found in raid. You can't bring one in and drop it. I swear there's someone over there. Try for that drop. Well, I can't even because it didn't. Not even dropping yet, you know. Like congested airspace, like it won't even drop yet. Who knows when it's going to go? Okay, nothing in here. Okay. Now I think that scav that I killed before, I'm pretty sure it was an AI scav. Because they were like just turning on the spot or something. I doubt it's a player scav. I presume it was a player scav who was letting off the flare. It could be somebody over here. Let's be a little careful. How's the COFDM hunt? We got 2 really quick, and then we've been struggling in PvP a little. But it's going, I would say that's pretty good going to start with. Getting 2 of them in one stream in like the first 2 hours is pretty good. Not bad. Yes, I'm using the RD right now. At this point in the wipe, what do you consider the best gun in terms of effectiveness and economic price? Well, you're in luck because we're literally just about to go through all that right now. I'm going to do my next section of the teach-in type thing that I've been posting on a Monday. I'm going to do that now, and it's going to be about the choosing the best weapon and ammo combination. Is the deal. So we're gonna literally look at it right now. Every like on stream, if adopts starving, I've got How many do you need? You need 4 for the first Lightkeeper quest. Now we found 2. When you find your 2, all in the village. All in the village. One was in the brick house next to Hillside House, and one was in Hillside House. So far that's been a good way of doing it, it seems. When you found 2 already, you know how to find more. Yeah, for sure. Need a Vertex, a VPX, and never played Lighthouse. Yeah, I found VPXs, I found other places. Vertex was really annoying. They're all in the same place, though. 2 out of how many raids? How many raids have we played, guys? Like 7? 8? We played a couple with the MP5, then we died twice with the MCX. And we played 1 with the RD. So maybe 7 or 8. Checking safes in the hotel. You're talking Lighthouse still. Chalet's been dry. Yeah, I haven't found anything in Chalet. I haven't found anything yet. Yeah, he T45'd me twice in the left arm from like a million miles away. Strange. Strange. Gun spawns in big house next to small shop. I don't know those call outs, I'm afraid. I'm just going with the ones that I know, the ones I've seen. I watched a couple of guides and been to a few places, and the ones that are working seem to be working. I'll leave it at that. Okay, so let's see. Best to do this. This is quite a complicated topic. It's quite a complicated topic, this one. Because there's so much to it. Because hacker drama was on. I never saw many anyway, so I'm not your best guide for it. Like, people are still getting cheated on. I think the situation broadly is like, anecdotally is a bit better, but it's just like, it's so hard to say. Like, no one really knows. Like, some people would have sworn that it was the worst ever before the scandal. Some people would have said they never run into them. It's so each to their own. This really is tough. It really is tough. Right. Okay. Let me see. I'm just going to get myself prepared. We'll just whiz through this, and then I'm just going to quickly check what I wrote down. Because, as I said, it's quite complicated. The whole... The cross-section of... ammo and weapons. It's quite complicated. Where were we? So... Yep. Is this? Cool. All right. Yeah, so let's just quickly flick through this, and then we shall see. So yeah, now we can eat these sugars, you see, and craft the moonshines, and then use the moonshine for thick cases. That's our new plan, our new general plan. We haven't made it out with any car kits today, which is sad. We've not been able to craft those into other stuff. The efficiency is hurting. Cheaters more subtle. Probably more subtle, yeah. They probably just want to become more subtle so they don't get spotted. If BSG is kind of on the extra warpath, that's for sure. That's for sure. What is ammo's penetration number? Do penetration? What does that mean? Okay, so I guess we should probably get started with this. Let me just decide on the best way to start. So I guess we can begin. Let me bring my notes up here as well. I'm kind of... Tis complicated. It's complicated. So let's go to this one. Okay. So yes, so today we're going to look through this next video for the informal ones, which is the one about choosing the right weapon and ammo, because I put a poll out about what we were going to do next, which is informal topics that people like to see. And we're going to try and do this. So choosing the right weapon and ammo is the one that people have chosen. And it's quite a complicated topic, honestly, because there's just like so much to it in terms of which bullets are the best, which guns are the best, what you can access, what you can't access, that kind of thing, which is tricky and it's tough. So first and foremost, basically, you have to decide on whether you're going to be using something in full auto, semi-auto, or single fire. That really is what matters. And then also the flea market, your trader levels and your workbench levels. That's really the point to it. And also whether money matters to you or not, because like we've seen with the VSS recently, they make the ammo prices really, really, really super expensive. Then you will find it difficult to run the gun. But some people, that's not a problem, and they just want the best of the best, so it doesn't really matter. And then there's a bit of mag capacity choices as well to make, because some guns are a little limited on that. But basically, if we first start off with what is actually what I think are the best things that you can do. I wonder if I can actually really show it on the screen. I'm not really sure. So, but in my opinion, so the best rounds that you can get, actually, probably the best way to do this. Let's do it like this. I'm going to bring up the ballistics chart. This is probably the best way of showcasing it. So we're going to come back to this view. Here we go. We've got the ballistics chart here up now. So for single shot and DMR, this is if you've got everything unlocked, but you don't want to do anything that's time gated. So by that I mean like Workbench 3 in particular. So the best bullets for the single shot and DMR is 54R BT, because you can't buy SNB. I wonder if I can make this slightly bigger for everybody. Whoops. I've just changed the scene. Hold on. 1 minute. 1 minute. There we go. I've got a overlapping. There we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. We did it. Although chat's now in the way. We'll leave it like that. This is fine. So the best bullets that you can do for single shot and DMR type weapons is BT for 762 by 54R, because SMB you can't buy it, you have to craft it. And the problem is that this is kind of okay if you are crafting it in Workbench 2 and you don't have Workbench 3, but you really want to be using Workbench 3 to get better ammo than SNB, because you can buy BT, which is 55 pen versus 62 pen of SNB. BT will just clean through basically everything except for Class 6, which is one more shot than SNB, but most of the time it doesn't really matter. So I think BT is probably one of the best bullets for single and DMR. And then obviously you've got M62 next, because you can buy this from Peacekeeper. M61 is a craft, so M62 is probably the next best one that you can get for M700, DVL, RFB, M1A, all of those kind of guns. Then for assault rifles, we've got M855A1, because you can buy this from Peacekeeper for your M4s and your AK101s. You can actually get BS from a barter with Prapor, and so that's actually pretty good on. And honestly, any of the 555 AKs, they have a bad rap for having low damage, but they do work, and you can make them work, so it's honestly not too bad. Then you've got 366 AP, which is really decent. This is like M80 but upgraded. The issue is it only fits in 2 guns, the VPO 20 what's it called, the VPO the VPO 209 and the VPO 215, the semi-auto and the bolty. But it's an extremely powerful round, and you can get this like in lots of different ways, and we'll go through that in a second where you get it from, but you can get it from traders, from crafting, from loads of places, so it's actually pretty nuts. Then in terms of SMGs, I mean, Naval's kind of, and VSS is sort of on the borderline. You can still buy SB6 from Prapor. This is one of the best rounds that you can still buy, even though it's very expensive now. And then the MP7 with FMJ, which you can buy from Peacekeeper. So those are really all of them. For the shotguns, you still also have Flechette as well. You can buy Flechette for the 12 gauge for like the 153 and stuff, but you have to complete a bunch of quests for that. But then if you include all of the time gate ones, then you've got M61, which is craftable in Workbench 3, but these ones kind of compete with each other, which is why it's problematic. M61, which is arguably one of the best rounds. I think M61 probably is the best round in the entire game, even though it's maybe not as good as some of these other rounds down below. That with the cross-section of the weapons that it goes into, like the RSAS, the SR25, and the M1A, which can get to some of the lowest recoil you can get in the whole of Tarkov for semi-auto, combined with the fact that this just goes through every single piece of armor in the whole game with 64 pen and kills people in 2 shots to the thorax. M61 basically is, I think it's just the best thing, honestly. Then you've got 762 BP, again, Workbench 3 craft with 47 pen. This is a 3-shot against class 5 most of the time, and you can fire it out of full auto guns like the RD and the Mutant, which is why that one ends up being so good. And then you've got M9, M5, which is probably the next one down. You have slightly lower recoil on these weapons, still full auto. I've been using it to great effect with something like the 101, but you could put it in really any of them, the MDR or the SCAR or the M4 if you want a higher fire rate, anything like that. It's a little bit lower damage, but it's not as low as the 545 weapons, and you can stack 55A1 underneath it, which makes it super powerful. I guess like I still kind of want to mention 366. Sorry, not 366. I want to mention the 300 APs, because we were looking at that earlier. This, technically speaking, is one of the best rounds in the game, but the M6 has some issues which make it kind of problematic. So, talking right from the beginning, I always get asked by people what to use at the different levels of progression. So I've basically, what I've done is I've gone through and I've figured out what I would do at each level, because otherwise it just gets completely crazy. So at level 1, probably one of the best bullets that you can get is LPS. This comes at level 1 and has 81 damage and 42 pen. So this is pretty much always going to be decent. You start to struggle with class 5, but it can go in the Mosin and it's very, very good. You then have, for early wipe, this is less relevant right this moment, but for the early wipe in the 545 category, once you do delivery from the past, this is useful for next wipe, then you can get PS rounds, which is 48 damage and 31 pen, which is really good in the first couple of weeks because most people, they start to wear class 4, but most people are wearing class 3 or nothing. And this, you only have to complete delivery from the past to get access to it, and it's actually pretty good. Then you've also got the 366 rounds. This is all at level 1, remember. So you've got EKO, which is 73 damage and 30 pen. I personally would prefer PS. I actually do prefer 762 by 39 PS, but you can't buy PS at level 1 anymore. Sometimes you can get it from Fence and you can get it from Scavs, so I actually prefer these guns, but you can buy a 209 early on and you can use EKO in it, which is very powerful. Again, it's 30 pen, so it'll go through most people's armor early on, but I wouldn't use it so much now in the late wipe if you're kind of coming into it late. Then you've got the 45 match FMJ, which can be bought at Peacekeeper 1, which still has really high damage. This was nerfed slightly, but it's still extremely high. And the pen is 25, which is definitely passable for something that goes on full auto. That pairs with the UMP. We can talk about that in a sec. And then one of my absolute fan favorites is in the Tokarevs, which is the LONPC. It does the most damage for the PPSH. It only fits in the PPSH. And it gets a small amount of recoil adjustment as well. But this is a leg meta one. And it means you can just avoid people's armor and kill them with that. Some people like to prefer using AKBS, which is a bit lower damage and 1 extra time to kill. You get a very slight increase in recoil reduction. I'm not sure if it's worth it. Some people like it. It also has a bit more pen, and I think it's cheaper than LONPC. I just prefer having the raw damage, personally. Then in the shotties, really you can use any of them, honestly. It doesn't really matter. You can use, well, ignore the TOS one. In the 12 gauge shotguns, I quite like 525 buckshot. This is actually really slow. And so it means that the damage falls off less quickly than something like 7mm. So it'll actually do more damage over, say, 10 meters or 20 meters than 7mm. But at point blank, 7mm will do slightly more. Express, again, the damage falls off even quicker for this because it's even faster, which is crazy. But you can really pick any of them, honestly. The differences between them is really minimal, and they're very similar. And then I guess if you want to use like the Clean or something like that, then you can try and use PMM, which is in Workbench 1. But it only works in the Clean. So you can't use this in the Kedda. It only works in the Clean. And then I guess there's an honorable mention, which is Magnum Buckshot. If you like Magnum Buckshot, this does an extreme amount of damage, but it has loads of recoil on it. Pretty good for pump action weapons, less good for semi-autos, in my personal experience, but I'm quite used to using the other buckshots with no extra recoil, so this throws me off. But you can technically do 400 damage with this, so people die in 2 shots to the legs. It's very, very, very powerful. So, in my opinion, the best guns to use at level 1 then, because of all this, is the Mosin or the MP18 if you want to go really, really cheap, but I think that's probably a mistake. With LPS, which is really, that's the professional's choice, because you get sniper levels and you can 1-tap people in the head or 2-tap people to the thorax. For semi-auto, I think it's probably the VPO 209, honestly. It probably is one of the better ones with EKO. It's like genuinely pretty good. And then also 12 gauge shotguns of any kind, really, with any of these buckshots, also is just really good early. And then for full auto, the UMP barter, which you can buy the knives from Fence for, and you can trade that with Mr. Peacekeeper. Then you can use 45 match FMJ. That's still really powerful early. And you've also got, the PPSH, which I was talking about before with the LONPC. The AK-74U, if you can access this PS once you've done delivery from the past, is quite a good one in my opinion. And then finally the Clin as well. You can get the Clin once you've done BP Depot, so it's quite far down, and you do have to craft like the good ammo for it. But you can actually convert a Kedda into a Clin in the hideout, which is kind of interesting. So then the next milestone after that is when you get to level 14, which is Peacekeeper 2, which is interesting because it's 1 level before the flea market. And Peacekeeper 2, technically speaking, and this is the pathway that I go down the whole time, you're probably not going to get it right there and then, but I push on and try to get to M856A1. This is technically Peacekeeper 2. This is much easier to do now because you now don't need the flash drives quest as of this particular wipe. And so you do Skier's quest line, and then you get Friend from the West. You do that, and then you do a couple of quests on Peacekeeper until the Cult Part 1, and you get 56A1. So that's technically available from level 14, in theory, although you need to do some quests, so you probably won't be level 14 when you actually get access to that ammo. He actually opens up an interesting leg meta option with Hydra Shock, which can be kind of good, because that's available at Peacekeeper 2. And this is a 5-shot kill, because it does 100 damage. You're probably still going to be using it in the UMP, but it's one to bear in mind. He also actually allows you to buy 9mm PST, which again was moved up to level 2 traders in this wipe, which is quite interesting. But normally you can get that from Fence 2, and also both sides, both USEC and Bear, usually start with enough PST that you don't need to worry about it. You usually have enough stocks, but you can get it from Fence if you sold it all or whatever. So in this particular category, you're really thinking about getting to 5.6A1 as fast as you can, and then you can use the MDR and the SCAR, which are, I think, the best sort of all-around mid-range guns for 5.56, and you use those mostly through the early game once you get access to 5.6A1, and use it through a lot of the mid-game too. You could also, in theory, try to use the AUG as well, if you want to, because I think the AUG, like, you don't really need to do anything to it, and it's kind of like a budget M4 if you want to go a bit more CQB. And then, yeah, for the, as we said, for, where was it, for 45, yeah, for Hydra Shock, once you get one more level, you could use the Vector, in theory. Tiny mags, so it's a bit tricky, but the UMP is probably the best bet for that, but the Vector is also a potential thing. There's a Skier Bart for the magazines, but it's quite expensive, so that's sort of problematic. Then you open up onto the flea market. So if you're level 15 and above, you can now buy all sorts of crazy stuff. Like, lots of things are banned, but there's still actually quite a few things that are available. So I wrote down the list of the bullets that you can still actually buy. A lot of them are quite expensive early on, but some of them might be surprising if you go through the list. So 7.62, and you can see actually on the wiki page, because it doesn't have the little like FM with a stroke through. That shows you that you can still actually buy this. So 7.62 by 54 PS, you can buy, and this thing's really good. 84 damage and 45 pen. That will go through all class 4s, to be honest, even LPS and P46 as well. But this thing does a bit more damage, and it's very powerful. This will plow through most things and will actually deal with class 5 if you shoot them enough. It's like an probably more so for the SVD than something like the Mosin, but that's actually very, very strong. Then you can buy 7.62 PS off the flea market. I'm not sure why you do that really, because you only need to get to Prep 2 to be able to buy that, but yeah, you can get that from the flea in theory. One that's kind of interesting is you can actually buy 300 blackout M62 Tracer from the flea. Now this is normally Peacekeeper 3, which is why I think maybe it is interesting, because that's a little bit later on. And this thing performs 54 damage and 36 pen, is almost exactly the same as 5.6A1, which is 54 damage and 37 pen. It's actually 1 pen difference. But you have to do all the quests to get to the Cult Part 2 for this one. Whereas M62 Tracer, you could potentially buy it from the fleet. I mean, this is all going to be pricing dependent, right? Some of them are going to be really expensive. Some of them are going to have no listings. Some of them, there might be something there plentiful. It's just something to check. It's in theory what you can do at level 15. A lot of the 5.45 rounds you actually can get access to on the flea market still, as you can see. You can go all the way up to BP buying from the flea. And so early on, that could be an option if you want to top load with something decent like that, which could be okay. Those are good at dealing with up to class 4 with BP and PP. PP is kind of the staple, in my opinion, once you get to Prep 2, which we'll talk about in a second. You can also buy FMJ for the MP7, which is another extremely strong bullet. It's normally quite expensive, but again, if you're top loading it, maybe you're playing really early on in the wipe. I wouldn't do this now, but I'd do this early on in the wipe maybe, top load a bit of this with a bit of action if you've got some spare cash. Kind of interesting. You can buy SB193 as well. This one is quite a high level mechanic. I think it's mechanic 3. Well, I think it might be mechanic 4 now. And so being able to get this off the flea market is actually quite cool. 9x21 PS as well for the SR2M, which you can get. And you can basically buy any of the 9x18s. All of these are available in various quantities depending on what players have found. And you can also buy Magnum Buckshot and Flechette. So there's actually tons and tons and tons of options. At level 15, you also get access to Prap or Jaeger and Skier level 2 as well. Quest dependent, but that's also in theory. And for that, you have 7.62 NATO BCP, which is kind of the new staple. This got changed in the middle of this wipe, so this kind of missed this missed the boat for this wipe for DMRs, because TCW was high damage but low pen. BCP FMJ was low damage but high pen. Or I can't remember which way around it was, and they switched it up so that this is kind of high damage and high pen now, so this is actually useful. But the problem is, because of the way it was before, people kind of like leapfrogged over the RFB, which meant that by the time that this got changed, it was kind of too late. But I think this one's going to be one to watch out for next wipe for sure, this BCP FMJ. I think it's actually okay. It's not that far off M80 now, and it'll still deal with class 4 just fine. So it's kind of the replacement for this. I think this is in a much better spot than it was in beforehand. And that comes from Jaeger 2. So if you get to Jaeger 2, you can buy that bullet. Then Prapor, as we mentioned, Prapor gives you the access to PP ammo, which is the one that I use almost exclusively from level 15 and onwards, because it's got 36 pen, which deals with class 4, and 44 damage, which is not bad. I don't think it's worth paying the price for but for BP, because it's only 1 more damage, 1 more pen. In the grand scheme of things, it just doesn't make enough difference at that level, and I'd rather conserve my money. The other one that's been changed now is that everything got moved down for the SR2M on Prapor, down 1 level. So now you can get, you can actually get PS rounds, which are 49 damage and 35 pen. You can get those on Prapor 2 now, which is actually really, really strong. That's a genuinely... Sorry, that one's on Prapor 3. It's it's PE for the leg meta that you can get on Prapor 2. Sorry, PS is on Prapor 3, but it is really strong, but we'll probably come on to it in a minute. But PE is more like a leg meta round because it's 80 damage. So that's, again, it's another option. And then at Jaeger 2, you can just buy Magnum Buckshot from him outright, which is pretty good. And so you can stick that in your shotties if you are a fan of Magnum. I'm not, but I know a lot of people really, really like it. So from that selection, for single shot there, you want to be using, or you have the ability, I guess, to use the Mosin with PS, in theory, if you can buy it off the flea market, or the SV98. You can buy the 366 AP, so you might want to use this one here. So you might be able to use the VPO 215 really early on if you can buy some of this off the flea market. This is really handy for completing quests like Tarkov Shooter Part 3, getting kills underneath 10 meters, so you can go to factory with VPO and APM just by buying a bit of that off the flea market, which is pretty good. Then for semi-auto, same rounds that we were talking about, PS, like that's SVD. RFB is good because of this BCP unlock. Again, VPO 209 because of 366 AP, and the MP 153 because of either the Flechette Magnum from Jaeger or Magnum off the flea market. And then full auto, you got the AKM because you can get PS at this level. Maybe the MCX if you're buying M62 Tracer, but I think it's a bit of a niche pickup. The AK-74 because you can buy PP, so there's any of those varieties, the 74Us or the longer versions, the 74N or M, or whichever one you want to buy from Prapor, because you can now get PP rounds just on tap, which is really neat. Maybe the MP7 if you can buy some FMJs off the flea, but it's like super niche and you can only get 20 rounders, which makes it really, really tough. And then, yeah, maybe the P90, the SR2M, and potentially, again, the Clin and the Kedda, because you can buy all of those rounds off the flea. But those ones, again, are a bit more niche. So the next one after that, so level 15, there's really nothing after that until level 20. And level 20, you unlock both Mechanic 2, which himself is a prerequisite for the Workbench 2, and that opens up like a load more crafts. So in terms of crafting, you get a bunch of different options. This is kind of the point at which I would say that crafting SMB is actually okay, because you're not competing for too many other things. There are a bunch of other stuff that you can craft in there, but SMB is one of the better ones. And so that's not terrible to do at this point. I think it's not as good to do later because you can buy BT from Prapor 4, but at this stage you don't have that option. So SMB is good if you just want to be able to defeat everybody's armor. You also have the ability to craft M80, which is cheaper than it used to be. They've made that craft a little bit better. And if you're stacking that over the top of FMJ in 716 NATO, I think that's actually not that bad. At level 20, that will just destroy everybody with class 4 on. And this guy is not too bad either. So it's quite a good pairing. Then you can actually, if you didn't bother doing Peacekeeper or you got stuck somewhere, you can then make 5601 there. So you can then use the MDR and the SCAR as you wish from that point. And this thing destroys class 4 and has really good damage with 54. For an assault rifle, for an intermediate caliber assault rifle round, 54 damage is a lot. Like, compare this to PS and BP for 762, it's like 57 and 58 damage. Like, it's really not that far off the bigger bullets. Honestly, it's really not that far off the bigger bullets. So I think it's very, very strong. It's one of the reasons why I like 5601 so much, until people start using class 5 a little bit more. Then you can also craft 366 AP. Again, 366 AP just keeps cropping up over and over and over again. And maybe I'll look into this a little bit more, but you can get this so many different ways, right? You can get it off the flea market, you can craft it, you can buy it. It's pretty nuts. But anyway, this goes in the guns that we talked about before and is super strong. It's like a enhanced version of M80. You can then do the SP6 craft, which is extremely powerful. The VSS obviously now is really in vogue. The Val also, but I think the VSS is slightly better. And this craft is a lot cheaper than the purchase for it. And again, you don't want to be using your workbench in the late game to be crafting ammos that you can buy, even if it's expensive, in my personal opinion. But early on when you've got workbench 2, if you're not making SMB or you don't really like using those guns, you could make SP6 instead. And it's a lot cheaper than But it actually allows you to use the Val and the VSS, because otherwise you just can't really. So we'll see how they look next wipe once the hype has died down from this wipe about the recall changes. But that could be a good goer kind of at level 20-ish, and that will annihilate people. It really will. This is also when you get the ability to create SS190 for the P90. I still don't think you get enough bullets. I think it takes too long, and I think it's too expensive to make it worth using. But it's potentially an option. You can also craft 9x21 BT for the shrimp, or the SR2M, I should say, not the shrimp. But 63 damage and 39 pen. This thing is extremely good. And maybe worth a craft. Same goes for 45 AP, which is 66 damage and 38 pen. These things are very, very similar. Obviously, this goes in the UMP or the Vector, and this goes in the SR2M. So it kind of depends on which gun you want. But both of these being able to craft, and this one's actually a lot cheaper. The BT craft is quite expensive. This is like 1700-ish at the moment, so early wipe, who knows. But AP is about 750. Like, this craft is really cheap, and no one does it, just because the ammo is very limited on what guns it goes into, and it's either you choose the UMP with really low fire rate, or you choose the Vector with really high fire rate and have mag problems. So it's kind of complicated. People used to use this as just a random pickup, like a sidearm for bolties and that kind of thing. But now that UMP got nerfed and this thing's behind the craft, no one's using it anymore. So maybe useful for next wipe, we'll see. You can also make flechette here. So you don't have the ability to buy this yet normally, and the flea market is usually very expensive. So you can actually craft this out of empty cans, and you're probably using your hideout a bit more now. So you can use the empty metal cans to craft flechette and then use that in your shotguns. The only actual purchase really that comes through a Mechanic 2 is for the MP7, and this is now the new buff that they did for Subsonic in terms of tiering. Subsonic SX you can now buy on Mechanic 2, which I think is really powerful. Again, you're still going to have issues with the 20 rounders because you can't buy the 30 rounders for the MP7 until Mechanic 3. But I used it this wipe with the 20 rounders, and I completed Punisher Part 4 with it. So having Subsonics at this level, I actually think could be really, really powerful. So we will see. So yeah, guns wise, we're talking Mosin. Now you have access to the flea market. So like the Mosin, the DVL, the M700, and maybe the VPO 215 with the 366 AP rounds for single fire gun or bolties. Semi-auto is like back to the RFB, the VPO 209, and the 155 because of flechette and the ability to craft M80, and again 366. And then full auto, you really have the pick of the choice. Doesn't really matter, right? You've got the MDR, the SCAR, the VSS, the P90, the SR2M, UMP and the Vector, and the MP7 with the 20 round mags, which is, I don't know, there's lots of choice. There's a lot of choice that you have there based on the bullets that you're actually able to create. So the next one after level 20, you jump up to level 22. This is actually when you're able to then buy flechette. Once you've completed forest clearing, this one's actually locked behind the one where you have to kill people in dorms, PMCs in dorms. Sorry, not in dorms, in factory. You need to kill 6 PMCs in the factory office. But once you've done that, you then have to kill 50 scavs across the whole of Tarkov, and then you unlock flechette, which as a purchase it's very powerful. It's honestly my favorite shotgun shell, and it's what I use on all kind of like budget runs that I do around factory or whatever, just like kit yourself up in some class 4 or whatever. I think it's very, very good. So from that 153 and the 155, probably the best 2 weapons I think for that kind of thing, because they're semi-auto, and flechette works really well with semi-auto shotguns and destroys everybody's armor because it's the only one that actually has decent pen that is a multi-shot. So, you know, all of these have like 1 to, I mean, what's the next best? This dual saber just doesn't really work. So it's like 3 or something. But the fact that the penetration power is so high, this combines with the armor damage to just smash people's armor. So yeah, flechette is level 22. That's the deal. Level 23, we then unlock Peacekeeper 3. We now have the ability to buy copious amounts of FMJSX. This makes the MP7 extremely powerful. Again, you're still limited to the 20s. You can buy a 30 rounder off the flea market if you want to buy 1 and put it in the gun and use 20s separately. But it's so powerful with 40 pen. It destroys class 4, and the fire rate is just annihilates people in CQB. It's like one of the best SMGs still. I'm still amazed that FMJ isn't restricted in some way, or that it's not Prepor 4 or sorry, Peacekeeper 4 or more expensive or craft only or something. I don't know. Other things that you can buy, you can then start to use the P90 a little bit more because you can buy L191. This bullet is not amazing, but it was consistently sold out mid-wipe this wipe, and I think people were stacking it a little bit with some of these other rounds, or just using it on its own, because the P90 with the 900 RPM and a 50 rounder, it means that you'll just kill people. 33 pen's not great for getting through class 4, but it's It's accuracy by volume, and eventually you'll get through. And 58 damage is pretty decent. So this was a fan favorite this time. I saw it sold out all the time. I used it a bit, and I thought it was okay. You also have the ability to get AP 6.3, which is, again, it's another underwhelming bullet because of its 30 pen. But I think I've been testing it at the moment with the MP5 SD, so we'll see. And it's, if you're hitting headshots with it, it's all right. After the buffs, I think 9mm weapons, because they had kind of low recoil already, but not low enough. With the 15% buff that we took recently on all the guns, I think maybe the MP5 SD might be getting back to being in a place where its low recoil makes up for the fact that the ammo is just not that powerful. It's kind of one of those interesting choices. I'd kind of prefer them to decrease the recoil even more, if possible, and keep the ammo as being weak, because then it's a different playstyle. It's something interesting. I don't want all the ammos to be 37 pen and 45 damage, and all the guns, it looks like the illusion of choice, but they're all actually the same. That's not interesting to me. I'd rather some be underpowered but have lower recoil, some to be higher powered. So we've got loads on the higher powered side with more recoil, but not so much on the lower end. And then what else from Peacekeeper 3? So now you can get the 300 Blackout M62. So if you want to run the MCX with the equivalent of 56A1, you can do that at level 23. So that's kind of interesting. And then you can also buy Quakemaker for 9mm. I know I've kind of jumped back and forth a little bit, but we're sort of gone in pen order, which is 85 damage. So you can now leg meta people with like the MP9N and that kind of thing. So yeah, this is like, it's like the full auto level 23. It's the MP7, the P90, MP5 SD, the MP9 and the MP9N, the Vector 9 maybe, if you want to do some more leg meta stuff as well, and maybe the MPX if you're feeling kind of spicy. So after that, the next one, you jump to level 26. This is now Prapor 3. So now you can buy from him directly 7.62 54 RPS, which just powers up this. It's a very, very good bullet with 45 damage, 45 pen. It's just extremely powerful. You can also easily buy from him the other rounds for 545, which is good. You can then get BT after completing Punisher 4 from him. You can buy BS with a barter, which beats class 5, and that makes 545s actually really good in the mid game. BT is now quite powerful with the extra 2 pen that they gave it this wipe. Like, for context, you know, that's got 1 more pen than M80. Like, the damage is obviously not there, but BT is looking pretty good now. And I think when we get to it next wipe, it means that it'll extend the longevity of the 545 guns as we go through. What's next? SP6. Yeah, so they keep fiddling around with this. We're going to have to see. By the time we get to the next wipe, 9x39 SP6 for the VSS. This thing is extremely good. It's basically BP. It's 7.62 BP, which is one of the, as I said right at the beginning, is one of the best rounds in the game. BP has 58 damage and 47 pen. SP6 has 58 damage and 46 pen. It's basically BP, which I agree with making it really expensive or make it restricted or whatever. It's like, it's one of the only bullets that you can get, that you can buy from the traders every single cycle, and it performs extremely well, and it's like firing a P90 with BP bullets inside. It's extremely good. I don't think balancing it by price is necessarily a bad thing, honestly, because it's like one of the best bullets in the entire game right now, based on the gun it goes in, the fire rate, the recoil, and the availability on the traders, in my opinion. So making it super expensive, I actually kind of don't mind. They've already reverted it once. They put it to like 3,100 or something. They've already reverted it down to like mid 2000s, I think, or low 2000s. I'm not sure. So we'll see where that ends up. 9x39 and the VSS and the Val, it's an extremely difficult caliber to balance just because of the way the guns perform. It's just really tough. It's just really, really tough to do. So we will see on that one. But anyway, you can get that at Prapor 3, so you can technically run this at level 26 if you have the money. You can also buy 9x21 PS. Where's 9x21 gone? Here it is. Which, again, all of these move down 1. This is the one that I mistook earlier for PE, but they all move down by 1 trader level. So getting this at Prapor 3 is actually pretty good. 49 damage and 35 pen is very strong with the fire rate on the SR2M. It's actually decent. So this is a contender. And then you can also buy Shrap 10, which is the ever-loved KS23 round. This thing with 8x87 technically can do 696 damage. So you only need to hit them with 6 pellets and they die in 1 shot, which is actually bonkers. It's actually bonkers. So you can get that at Prapor 3 as well. So guns in this particular caliber, I think in this category, I think the PS round for the SVD, so the SVD is really, really good. The AK-74 of any variety for BT and BS is like pretty good into sort of the medium end game, depending on whether you like these or not with the low damage. But I think you can make them work, right? They get a bad rap, but you can still technically make them work. The VSS, obviously, the SR2M and the KS23, because they're very specific, so you can only really choose one gun for each of those bullets that we talked about. Then from Prapor 26, level 26 Prapor, you move up to level 30, which again is a huge milestone. You've got Mechanic 3 and Workbench 3 all at the same time. And Mechanic 3 is again another prerequisite for Workbench 3. So all of this stuff kind of unlocks at the same time. You can now craft the best rounds in the game. You can craft M61, which is 70 damage and 64 pen, which just destroys everything. You can craft 762 BP, which is another full staple, because like M61 is typically used in semi-auto, so it kind of justifies the damage and the pen. BP is normally used on full auto, and so it absolutely destroys people with the stats that it has. You can then also craft M995. These were the three of my favorite rounds in the whole game, and this typically has slightly lower recoil and or is slightly cheaper, and or has slightly faster fire rate. Like, it depends on what you choose exactly. That's kind of the issue. Oh, where did my thing go? My game disappeared in the background. It's fine. It's fine. You can also craft 300 blackout AP as well. Whoops, gosh. Tarkov just appeared right in front of my screen. Yes, you can also craft 300 blackout AP, which technically speaking is as good as 762 BP, if not well, it's arguable whether it's slightly better or not. I actually think it's probably not as good just because of the damage. The damage is slightly lower, 51 versus 58, which means it can't 2-tap a class 5, whereas BP actually has the option and the possibility to do that. It normally is a 3-tap against class 5, but it can 2-tap people if you get a lucky roll, whereas 300 AP can't because the damage is just too low and the mitigation is too low. But it does actually have one more pen, and the fire rate is way, way higher, but it's difficult to use this rather than trying to use any of these others because the fire rate is super high. The MCX doesn't get super low on recoil like the other guns do, so it's just a bit of a tough one to use. There's like a whole bunch of other things that you can craft in there, but those are sort of my favorite. You can get a Golnik for 505, but the pen's really high, but the damage is pretty low. Same thing for APSX, I feel, for the MP7, which is this guy here. The damage is too low. You can't even head tap people with this, even if they've got, even if they've got no helmet on. For the Ash, you can then craft PS12B, which is, again, it's like a 2-tap through class 5, which is pretty amazing, but you don't get enough bullets. And the Ash 12 is kind of too niche. It's too much recoil. Doesn't really make much sense. There is a new one for the VSS, this PAB9 craft, which you can do now, which is sort of a middle ground between SB6 and BP. I still don't think this really has a place when you can buy SB6 on Prapor, because you can just craft BP or craft something else and barter for BP. So I don't know if people are really going to be doing this one. I'm not sure, but it's an option. You can make 366 APM as well. There's another option for getting 366 APM. There's like so many different ways of getting it, and that's not too bad. And then the one thing that you can actually get on Mechanic himself is, again, back for the P90, you can now buy R37X. Like, the P90 is a really good leg shredding gun because this has 81 damage, and then the one, I'm just going to skip ahead very slightly, but you can get this one at Mechanic 4, R37F, with 98 damage. So that's a 5-shot. And with the P90 with its big mag, it's pretty awesome. So that's at level 30. So basically they're like single fire guns. It's all the stuff we talked about before. Plus you can craft 366 AP if you want for the VPO. Semi-auto again is the RFB, M1A, SR25 and VPO 209. At level 30 you're probably not going to be using the big old guns because they're stuck up behind Peacekeeper 4. You can't use the big ones yet. And then the full auto, it's the usual suspects, right? AKM, AK-101, maybe the MCX if you're crafting the bullets for it. Any of the AK-74 type weapons, the MP7, maybe the Ash, the VSS, and potentially the MP5 SD or the Vector 9. Right, last couple. Up to Jaeger at level 33. You now have the ability to do 9mm rip from a barter. This is really powerful if you want to do leg matter. 102 damage, it's another 5-shot kill. Pair that with the MP9N and you'll go far. And a lot of people like doing this. Some people mix it with Quake as well, but you can barter for this rip and it's not actually too much. Yeah, MP9N, Vector, MP5 SD, that can all work. There's a bit of a gap actually between level 30 and then that level 33 just kind of on its own. And then level 36, where you get to Prapor 4. And you can finally buy 54 RBT, which I was saying, once you can buy 54 RBT, I don't think you should ever be making SMB. I think you should be using your workbench to make other things like M61, BP, and M995. Don't make SMB. You can use BT instead. Unless you really care about the tracer thing, then maybe. But with 55 pen, it's only class 60 you're ever worried about with this. You're going to one-tap everybody in the head unless they're wearing literally like a killer helmet and you hit them in the visor. Most of the time, BT is fine in 99.9% of cases in Tarkov fights. BT is good enough, and I mean, it does a little bit more damage. Not that matters too much, but you want to be using your workbench for other stuff. Buy BT over SMB once you have Prapor 4. And then the other thing that you can get is, this is sort of the point of PAB9 not being very useful is that you can still buy SP6, but you can also barter for BP. This BP barter is one of the only rounds that you can barter for that's super, super high level. 60 damage and 55 pen. It's like 54R BT that we just looked at, but with less damage. This makes it insane. Combine this with SP6, which is amazing anyway, and that's why I think the VSS is probably one of the best guns in the game right now. So yeah, at this level, basically it opens up more of the SVD and potentially the VSS. So ticking up next one, level 37. You can now open up the 338 FMJ. A fun bullet and a fun gun. This thing has 122 damage and 47 pen. So it's a 50-50 through class 5 that'll one-tap you. And that happened to me today, actually, on Lighthouse, which was fun. But you open up the ability to buy this. You need to kill Sturman to complete his quest before you can buy the XMC. But you can do Tarkov Shooter with that gun. And this is extremely powerful. The AP rounds are only found in Raid, so you can never get these. FMJs, you can buy 20 of them per reset from Peacekeeper, and it's very, very good. It's a fun gun, especially unsuppressed, I find, because it's super loud and people get scared. Peacekeeper is also then selling M80. I think at this point, M80 personally should be on Peacekeeper 3, I think. I'm not 100% decided on that, but I think so, because by the time you get there, you kind of it's kind of outstripped. Some people do use it exclusively, and it is still a good bullet, but I feel like it's more of a stacking round underneath M61 and M62. So it's useful to have there because it allows you to buy both M80 and M62 per trader cycle. And M62 is also purchasable at Peacekeeper 4. So you can buy both of these at the same time, and you put M62 at the top and M80 at the bottom, or you can use only M80 if you want, or you can use M61 with M80 underneath if you want to try and do some kind of, so one thing you buy, one thing you craft. That's what I quite like about M9, M5 and 85501, for example. You can craft one and you buy the other, and then you stack them together and you make your ammo go further. What else? Oh yeah, speaking of, M85501 becomes available. So that's the thing. The weird thing about this is that M9, M5, because it's Workbench 3, which is technically level 30, M9, M5, technically speaking, becomes available before M85501, which is only available at level 37 because it's Peacekeeper 4, which is kind of weird. So you can, in theory, have a situation where you're using M995 over 85601, in theory. Not that I think anyone does. But that's kind of how the progression curve goes now, which is a bit weird. And then the other one that you can get is SB193. So I think I said before that it was mechanic, but I think it's Peacekeeper, actually. So you can buy SB193 for the P90. Just bear in mind, this bullet is really slow. It's really, really slow. So even if you're firing over 30 meters, there was actually a clip from one of the top players of the game, Desmond Pilak. Go check him out. He's a cracked player. And he was shooting at somebody on streets from the sky bridge over Pinewood Hotel to a little truck. And he was shooting the guy dead on, and the bullets were missing because the guy was running at full speed at 90 degrees. And SB193 is too slow, and it had maybe, 70 centimeters of clearance behind the dude as he was running, and he didn't hit with it because this thing is just so slow. So you do have to be really careful, and you have to lead even at close ranges, which is really weird. It's really weird. So just beware of SB193. But it's then available to buy, which then makes the P90 a lot more usable. You can then in theory craft this and stack it over this, but you really need to be able to buy something, right, for these guns. You can't really just use craft only ammo unless you're just using one gun. If you just craft BP and you only ever use 7.62 by 39 guns, you can kind of get away with it. But if you want to use a variety of things, you kind of need to have a bullet that you buy that goes underneath as well as with your crafted stuff. Or you just use the bought stuff only. So the weapons, AXMC for the FMJ after you've killed Sherman. And then the RFB, the M1A, the SR25 and the RSAS. These all become an option because at Peacekeeper 4 you can then go and buy these things and you can go and buy those guns. So those are pretty good. You also have the ability to get the Scar H, the MDR for the full auto ones, but you need to complete some Peacekeeper quests for that. And then, 855 really opens up the AK-101 and like maybe the M4 even, or the HK if you want. And then the P90 with the SB193. Right, so we're getting quite close to the end. Level 38 is Skier 4. He just has one bullet. It's weird actually that a lot of the leg meta stuff opens out a lot later on in progression. Like 45 ACB RIP is what you get from him at level 38. Sorry, no, that's wrong. 45 RIP comes from Mechanic 4. I've skipped ahead of myself. He gives you another barter for 9mm RIP, but the Jaeger barter is cheaper. So we'll skip up to Mechanic because there's nothing else in between really. So yeah, that gives you the ability to buy 45 ACP RIP, which is 130 damage, and it's insane. This is probably the best leg meta non-shotgun bullet in the whole game, because it's 130 damage and kills people in 4 shots, and you can put it in the vector. And then with a 30 rounder, this just absolutely deletes people if you get your leg meta done right. It's insane. The other one that you can get from Mechanic 4 is the other leg meta round, which is the one I alluded to earlier, which is the R37F round. I always try to remember it as like F for flesh, because F is the most damaging one for the P90, and that is a 5-shot with the P90. So that's sort of similar. It's a little bit less damage, but 5 shots is still pretty amazing. It's still pretty amazing. So yeah, that opens up the P90, the UMP, and the Vector. So after that, after level 40, there really isn't anything else. So yeah, that's it. That's the end. That's the end. Another one of these tutorials type things down. So I hope everybody enjoyed it. Cool. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk, my monologue. I'm trying to do more of these things, as I've said, where we put these things up from the live stream and do it while we're live, because it's just, I don't know, it's nice. I kind of like doing the teaching. I was intending, like normally I'm intending to read a little bit more from chat, but obviously today I didn't really get the ability to, because this was it was a really complicated topic. But I get asked so many times throughout each stream, like I'm level like this, what should I use? And so this is going to be kind of useful for me as well, just to kind of keep up somewhere. So if someone's like, oh, I'm level 17, like what should I do? And I'll be like, do you have this trader? Do you have this trader? And so it's kind of a good reference guide for people right now as to like what they actually have access to and what they should be able to do. It's kind of the deal. So I'm sorry I didn't read any of your chat comments. And if anybody said anything particularly insightful, I'm afraid I probably missed it. But yeah, so we're going to do these probably, like, I'm trying to do them once a week. We'll probably do them on the Thursday, because it gives me a bit of time to think about it and repost it for the Monday. And if something's screwed up, I can kind of do something else or whatever. But we're going to try and do them every Thursday at the end of the stream in like a, half an hour to 45 minutes slot, something like that. And then post them out on a Monday, because people do seem to like them. I think next time we're going to do another raid one. So I had this one planned and I'd already done all the work for it. The next time we're going to do a raid one where I do another like analysis of some raid. So when I put this guide out, I'll put a poll on there and say, what raid would you like to see? And I'll have 3 raids in mind on 3 different maps, and I'll get people to pick which map they want to see, like, you know, a labs one or a factory one and something else. And then I'll pick 3 raids, and then I'll just choose whichever one the people say in the poll, and I'll go through it like I did on the other one, because people seem to really like it. So we're going to do that style a bit more, and then test some more styles, keep putting polls out after each one. We'll do the raid one every other week. And then the intervening weeks we'll do some of the other options. Like I've got a list of things that I want to poll people on and say, do we want to do optics? Do we want to do, you know, building a whole loadout, like light kits, you know, just skills, like whatever. And we'll just pick the most popular and just keep running with it. I'd like to see one raid. Unfortunately, I'm finished. It's going to be the last thing that we do on the streams when we're doing those. So, but I will be back. On Monday, because tomorrow we got Scav Talk, got a video coming out on Saturday, new one, and then I'll be back on Monday for some more streams. So come by for that, and you'll see some more stuff of me trying to get the COFDMs. You know, that's what we're gonna do. So let's go and see who is about. I'm always going over with these things. They always take longer than I expect to go through. I'll have to see when I cut it. I'll have to see exactly how long it took to go through the whole thing. I feel like it might be 40 minutes or something, so we'll see. It makes for quite a long video on YouTube, but I don't know. It's all right. Let's see. Maybe we'll go and see Valian. I was like analyzing a bunch of his clips recently, so it might be interesting to go and chat with him for a little bit. So anyway, I'm gonna go and get myself a drink for sure. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. We're going to be carrying on with the COFDMs next week, so all the guys on YouTube, I guess, you just have a good day. Everyone on Twitch, we're going to go over to say hi to Vel, and then I'm going to bounce real quick because I'm going to have to go and help with the fam and dinner and all of that kind of stuff. So have a good one, and I'll see everybody later. Bye, guys.